A young girl from a single-parent family, Yoon Ju-won, wished her father could give her a brother without needing a woman. After her mother's death, she lived with her father, who took great care of her. This care helped Yoon Ju-won become smart and lively, without any personality defects typically associated with broken homes. Her teacher collected the children's wishes, and Yoon Ju-won's greatest wish was for her single father to give her a brother. Her father could only smile bitterly upon hearing this. Guessing his long hours at the noodle shop made Yoon Ju-won feel lonely. While they were discussing this, a new family moved in next door with a slightly older boy. Hoping to foster good relations, her father encouraged Yoon Ju-won to treat the boy as her brother. She joyfully took the boy's hand and sweetly called him brother, but he was expressionless and cold. Her father, not wanting to dampen her enthusiasm, picked her up and laughed, mentioning that they, living on the third floor, were a family of 3, and they, on the second floor, were a family of 2. This comment angered the boy's mother, who confronted her husband, asking why he lied about being a family of 3 instead of 4. It turned out they had another daughter who died in an accident at home, leaving the mother sensitive and irritable. She blamed her son for not taking care of his sister and became distant towards him. Unable to endure the neighbors' gossip, they moved from Seoul to the countryside. However, a remark by Yoon Jong-jae soon after they moved in angered her again. Kim Dae-wook tried to calm his wife, but she began to shout. Their son, Kim San-ha, stayed silent and scared. The loud argument led unknowing neighbors to call the police, who discovered the husband was their new precinct chief. As the police left, they discussed the argument over the daughter's death, overheard by a curious neighbor. Yoon Jong-jae advised Yoon Ju-won not to mention the sister in front of Kim San-ha, just as she wouldn't want her mother mentioned. They saw Kim San-ha sitting alone on the stairs. Yoon Jong-jae invited him to their home, but he got up and went straight back to his apartment. Kim Dae-wook was cleaning up after his wife had thrown things. He told Kim San-ha that her anger was just her way of expressing sadness, urging him not to blame her. The next day, Kim San-ha was hungry but found only empty bottles on the table. His mother locked herself in her room and he considered making ramen, but remembered the accident with his sister when making noodles for her. He worried the sound of eating dry noodles might disturb his mother, so he took the noodles to the stairwell to eat. Yoon Ju-won invited Kim San-ha to dinner at home, but Kim San-ha refused again. Unable to bear the thought of his child eating instant noodles, Yoon Jong-jae made pancakes and asked Yoon Ju-won to deliver them to Kim San-ha. Despite his pride, Kim San-ha still refused to accept them, leaving Yoon Ju-won no choice but to eat them himself. The next day, a neighbor introduced Yoon Jong-jae to a potential match and brought the person directly to their home. Yoon Jong-jae was cleaning and didn't notice the guest arriving, accidentally splashing a bucket of water onto the visitor's face. At that moment, Yoon Ju-won returned from school, and the woman's son, Kang Hae-jun, greeted her. Learning that this woman might become her mother, Yoon Ju-won was unhappy, declaring she didn't need a mother but would like a brother instead. Seeing this, the neighbor took Yoon Ju-won and Kang Hae-jun to a convenience store, leaving Yoon Jong-jae and Kang Hae-jun's mother alone. After buying snacks, the neighbor asked the kids to stay outside alone. Kang Hae-jun tried to talk to Yoon Ju-won, who was upset about the possibility of Kang Hae-jun's mother becoming her own. She ignored him. On their way home, they ran into Kim San-ha. Yoon Ju-won happily walked with him until overhearing 2 boys behind them, saying Kim San-ha's sister died because of him and calling him a troubled child. Yoon Ju-won defended Kim San-ha and got into a fight, with Kang Hae-jun helping and Kim San-ha reluctantly joining in. The other kids' parents accused the trio of ganging up. After learning the reason for the fight, Yoon Jong-jae demanded an apology to Kim San-ha from the other mother and son. Realizing they were at fault for spreading rumors, they eventually apologized. Later, Yoon Jong-jae made ribs for Kang Hae-jun and his mother and invited Kim San-ha. This time, he accepted the invitation due to the friendship formed from the fight. At dinner, Yoon Ju-won, favoring Kim San-ha, passed ribs intended for Kang Hae-jun to him. Naive Kang Hae-jun didn't mind. He had never felt paternal love and was content with Yoon Jong-jae's warmth. After they left, Yoon Ju-won and Kim San-ha played excitedly downstairs. Kim San-ha showed his childlike innocence, but his joy saddened his mother watching from upstairs. Yoon Ju-won showed Kim San-ha her mother's photo, saying she looked at it whenever she missed her mom. She suggested Kim San-ha could do the same with his sister's photo. Kim San-ha went home, took out a hidden family photo, and remembered happier times. Meanwhile, Kang Hae-jun's mother received a troubling phone call on a bus and suddenly changed her expression. The next day, she left Kang Hae-jun in his younger sister's care, promising to return soon after earning some money. Kang Hae-jun believed her, not realizing it was the last time he'd see his mother. She then disappeared. The neighbor complained to Yoon Jong-jae about Kang Hae-jun's mother's abrupt disappearance, even changing her phone number without a proper goodbye. Yoon Jong-jae took it as her way of rejection. Unexpectedly, that night, he received a call from a strange number. It was Kang Hae-jun's mother asking for a loan due to trouble she'd encountered and hoping Yoon Jong-jae could occasionally check on Kang Hae-jun. Yoon Jong-jae lent the money and soon found Kang Hae-jun's place, seeing him sitting outside in thin clothes, with the home in disarray. Aunt Kang Hae-jun came home from school and said she hadn't graduated yet and didn't have time to look after Kang Hae-jun. He had to take care of his own meals 3 times a day. Yoon Jong-jae asked Kang Hae-jun if he wanted to come live with him first. Kang Hae-jun, fond of the gentle Yoon Jong-jae, agreed immediately. Meanwhile, Kim San-ha's mother found a photo of a family of 4 in her son's drawer, cut it up in anger, and told her husband, Kim Dae-wook. She couldn't shake the thought that only Kim San-ha was present when their daughter died and suspected him of doing something to his sister. Kim Dae-wook thought his wife was insane and told her to come to her senses. Their argument was overheard by Kim San-ha, who had just come home from school. His mother accused him of living in pain every day. Seeing Kim San-ha happy at a neighbor's house downstairs, she could no longer bear it and begged Kim Dae-wook to let her leave. Kim San-ha rushed in, pleading with his mother not to go, promising never to eat downstairs or laugh again, just asking for her forgiveness. That night, Kim San-ha spent in tears of pain and helplessness. Kang Hae-jun, now in a new home, laughed in his bed, feeling a happiness he had never imagined. The next day, Kim San-ha told Yoon Ju-won he would no longer visit her house. Just then, Kim San-ha's mother came out with a suitcase. Naive Yoon Ju-won pleaded with her to continue letting Kim San-ha visit her home. Kim San-ha's mother coldly handed her son to Yoon Ju-won to be her brother. Yoon Ju-won was happy to finally have a brother. Years later, Kim San-ha's mother hadn't returned, and neither had Kang Hae-jun's mother. Kim Dae-wook, busy with work, often left Kim San-ha in Yoon Jong-jae's care. The 3 children lived together and became close as family. 10 years passed, and the 3 had become high school students. Under Yoon Jong-jae's care, the 5 of them lived relatively happily. However, Yoon Ju-won was dissatisfied that the 2 brothers didn't share her family register and loudly declared at the dinner table that they must all have the same surname, or she couldn't live on. From elementary school to high school, girls always asked Yoon Ju-won to pass love letters to her 2 brothers. Yoon Ju-won, now numb to it, faced suspicion from the girls who didn't receive replies. Some thought Yoon Ju-won liked her brothers, others guessed she never delivered the letters. Whenever Yoon Ju-won was bullied, she felt aggrieved, blaming it on the misunderstandings caused by their different surnames. She didn't want to live like this anymore. Kang Hae-jun taught her to think of herself as a crazy person in such situations and to act crazily in response. Yoon Ju-won took this advice to heart. The next day, when another girl asked her to deliver gifts to Kim San-ha and Kang Hae-jun, Yoon Ju-won asked her to sign a no-blame contract regardless of the brothers' response. The girls thought Yoon Ju-won was mocking them and knocked her to the ground. Remembering Kang Hae-jun's advice, Yoon Ju-won tried to show them how crazy she could be by dragging the girl running, but ended up falling into a pond. The entire school watched Yoon Ju-won's misfortune. Angry, she approached the 2 girls, who thought she was going to explode in anger, but she humbly begged the seniors not to bully her. The girl was scared by Yoon Ju-won's acting. She called Yoon Ju-won crazy. Yoon Ju-won was thrilled by the comment. Just then, Kang Hae-jun received a message and rushed into the crowd. He took off his jersey to wipe Yoon Ju-won's face. At that moment, Kim San-ha also ran over. He put his own coat on Yoon Ju-won. He left the crowd with his younger siblings. On the way home, it started raining heavily. The 3 ran wildly in the rain, enjoying carefree moments. However, Neighbors saw Kim San-ha and Kang Hae-jun as pitiful children abandoned by their mother. They couldn't help gossiping whenever they saw them. Yoon Ju-won didn't want to hear the gossip. He again asked his father to proceed with adoption formalities to put all three on the same household registration. Kim San-ha's phone rang with a call from his grandmother. He looked at the phone and declined the call. Unbeknownst to him, his grandmother called his father next. Kim San-ha was not in the mood to eat. He went back upstairs. Yoon Ju-won complained that Kim San-ha's grandmother was too much. Even though Kim San-ha's mother was remarried and doing well, the grandmother shouldn't have told Kim San-ha about it. Yoon Jong-jae made rice balls for the children to take upstairs. Later, he changed the contact name in Kim Dae-wook's phone from mother-in-law to former mother-in-law. Since Kim San-ha's mother had a new family, he hoped Kim San-ha and his father could also start a new life. Kim Dae-wook had no objections. They usually depended on Yoon Jong-jae and were willing to follow his advice. Kim San-ha was not in the mood to eat the rice balls. Yoon Ju-won smelled a fragrance on Kim San-ha's bed and suspected Kim San-ha bought a nice shower gel without telling them. He and Kang Hae-jun rushed to the bathroom to search. After Kim San-ha's mood improved, he sent the two downstairs. The next day, Yoon Ju-won and a friend saw Kim San-ha going to the music room with the school beauty. Yoon Ju-won wanted to follow but was stopped by his friend. The whole class knew about Kim San-ha dating the school beauty except for Yoon Ju-won. Yoon Ju-won was angry for being the only one not knowing. At that moment, Kim San-ha told the school beauty not to ask him out alone anymore to avoid misunderstandings about them dating. The school beauty was puzzled and confessed her liking for Kim San-ha. Kim San-ha simply responded with, She thought it meant he liked her back. Kim San-ha clarified that, meant he was just acknowledging her words. He didn't want to talk much and had never responded to her feelings. After school, Yoon Ju-won was still upset about Kim San-ha and the school beauty dating. Kim San-ha was pleased to see her sad about this, but Yoon Ju-won said if they were really family, Kim San-ha would have told her. Kim San-ha explained that even being on the same household registration doesn't make them family. Meanwhile, Kang Hae-jun, playing basketball, saw a man in black secretly taking his photos. He chased after the man, who escaped but dropped his camera. Kang Hae-jun found it full of his photos and suspected the man might be connected to his mother, who had left for Seoul years ago. At the same time, Kang Hae-jun's aunt visited the noodle shop. She bought underwear for Yoon Jong-jae and the kids, showing her apology. The neighbor criticized the aunt for abandoning Kang Hae-jun and now showing up shamelessly. She regretted introducing Yoon Jong-jae to a burden. Yoon Jong-jae urged his older sister not to think like that. Raising a child is hard, but he loves Kang Hae-jun. He believes they have a father-son bond. Kang Hae-jun met his aunt at the doorstep. Knowing she also had a hard life, he offered her some money for a taxi. She refused and advised him not to trouble his hosts. Her words reminded Kang Hae-jun of his childhood when a guest threatened him to clean the table better or Yoon Jong-jae might send him back. Yoon Jong-jae defended him and scolded the guest, asserting that Kang Hae-jun could stay even if he didn't help with chores. Over the years, Yoon Jong-jae became Kang Hae-jun's safe haven, offering him a warm home. Thinking this, Kang Hae-jun returned home. Yoon Ju-won was upset over Kim San-ha's words and went straight to her room without eating. To appease her, Kim San-ha lied that Kang Hae-jun, not he, was involved with the school beauty. The school beauty was Kang Hae-jun's ex-girlfriend. Yoon Ju-won forgave Kim San-ha, but became very angry with Kang Hae-jun. Upon learning the truth, Kang Hae-jun accused Kim San-ha of immorality. He had been trying to reconcile with Yoon Ju-won, who was still upset when the school beauty sought to reunite with him. Frustrated, Kang Hae-jun asked her not to complicate things further as it would anger Yoon Ju-won more. The school beauty called Yoon Ju-won to an empty classroom. Thinking Kang Hae-jun initiated their breakup, she yelled at him with the school beauty. When she learned it was the school beauty who dumped Kang Hae-jun, she defended him and argued with the school beauty. After the argument, she left and ignored the school beauty, who then chased after her and deliberately fell, blaming her in front of everyone. Accused by the school beauty, onlookers criticized Yoon Ju-won as manipulative. Only her best friend spoke up to defend her. Kang Hae-jun arrived and told the school beauty to stop acting. A nearby girl noticed the school beauty was bleeding and demanded Yoon Ju-won apologize. The crowd also demanded an apology. Kang Hae-jun, wanting to avoid further issues, advised Yoon Ju-won to apologize to end the drama. As Yoon Ju-won was about to apologize, Kim San-ha arrived and, asserting his authority as a top student, challenged everyone to produce evidence of Yoon Ju-won's bullying. Without proof, he told them to stop making accusations. Yoon Ju-won and Kang Hae-jun immediately followed their brother. To make amends, Kang Hae-jun bought fried chicken and cake to placate Yoon Ju-won, who accepted the gesture for the sake of the treats. The next day, Kang Hae-jun saw a woman at the school gate who resembled his mother. He followed her only to realize his mistake, witnessed by a friend. Kang Hae-jun took his friend out to eat, asking him to keep this secret from Yoon Ju-won. Unaware of his friend's feelings for him, Kang Hae-jun thought this would settle the matter. But the next day, a man approached him, claiming to be his father. Kang Hae-jun's father suddenly visited, disrupting his peaceful life. The man claimed that Kang Hae-jun's mother had been pregnant without his knowledge, so he was unaware of Kang Hae-jun's existence for 19 years. Kang Hae-jun had many questions, but his father received a call and left hastily, giving him a business card to contact him if needed. On his way home, Kang Hae-jun felt conflicted about a person he had never longed for entering his life. He hesitated about telling Yoon Jong-jae while walking to a noodle shop. A neighbor suddenly appeared, interrupting his courage. At the dinner table, Kang Hae-jun was distracted. Yoon Ju-won didn't notice anything unusual, but Kim San-ha sensed something was off. After dinner, Kim San-ha found Kang Hae-jun on the balcony and urged him to reveal what had happened. Kang Hae-jun shared the news of his biological father's appearance and his mixed feelings. He felt happy, yet guilty, for feeling this way, betraying Yoon Jong-jae, who raised him. Kim San-ha understood, but speculated the man might have ulterior motives, like wanting Kang Hae-jun's organs. Kang Hae-jun was upset, hoping his father simply wanted to reconnect. To be cautious, Kim San-ha suggested they consult Kang Hae-jun's aunt, who might know the man's character. The brothers quickly located her. Kang Hae-jun showed her the business card, and she changed her expression, threatening him to never see this man again, or she would disown him. Kang Hae-jun pressed for the reason. She revealed the man had refused responsibility when Kang Hae-jun's mother was pregnant and married a wealthy woman instead. The claim of ignorance about the pregnancy was a lie. Enraged, Kang Hae-jun was about to tear up the card, but Kim San-ha stopped him. To prevent future disturbances, they needed to confront the man. They visited his luxurious hotel, exposed his lies, and questioned his motives. His father disclosed owning multiple properties and substantial savings, but lacked heirs. His current family was eyeing his wealth. He sought Kang Hae-jun to secure his assets under the pretense of inheritance and wanted him to move to the US and change his identity. Kang Hae-jun, thinking his father came out of love, was devastated by the truth and outright refused him. He had a father and family here and would not go to the US. After declaring this, he rose to leave. Kim San-ha stopped him, signaling they would pay for their own drinks. The brothers placed their pocket money on the table, showing they didn't want a mercenary father. Kim San-ha accompanied Kang Hae-jun to clear his mind by the sea, asking him to keep the matter secret from Yoon Jong-jae and Yoon Ju-won. However, returning home, Yoon Ju-won mentioned a strange visitor at the noodle shop with an eerie vibe. Initially unconcerned, they rushed there after hearing the description from Yoon Ju-won. Kang Hae-jun dashed to the shop, followed closely by Kim San-ha, only to find his father had already left. Yoon Jong-jae said the man had just left. It turns out Kang Hae-jun's father had thoroughly checked his son's background. Seeing Kang Hae-jun unwilling to leave with him, he approached Yoon Jong-jae. He handed Yoon Jong-jae a check, wanting to take Kang Hae-jun away. As Kang Hae-jun is still a student, his guardian has the right to decide his stay. Yoon Jong-jae, shocked, argued that he had been Kang Hae-jun's guardian over the years. If the guardian has the right to decide, he did not want Kang Hae-jun to leave. Kang Hae-jun's father rejected, reluctantly left, and returned to his hotel. There, he accidentally bumped into a mother and daughter. Angry, he did not apologize. The woman commented, but did not mind. The little girl asked her mother when she could see her brother. Her mother comforted her they would meet soon. This woman was Kim San-ha's mother, who had abandoned her years ago. Learning Yoon Jong-jae knew about his real father, Kang Hae-jun was stunned, unsure how to react. Kim San-ha pulled the curious Yoon Ju-won away, giving Yoon Jong-jae and Kang Hae-jun space to talk. Yoon Jong-jae comforted Kang Hae-jun, saying it wasn't his fault and understood his biological father's feelings. He hoped Kang Hae-jun would ask for his opinion and not leave with the man. Kang Hae-jun, still in high school, could receive help from Yoon Jong-jae, who wanted to spend more time with him. Kang Hae-jun cried, fearing Yoon Jong-jae would send him away upon learning of his biological father. Yoon Jong-jae hugged him, and they both cried, understanding they did not want to be apart. Kim San-ha explained everything to Yoon Ju-won, who firmly refused to let Kang Hae-jun and his father leave. Hearing this, Kang Hae-jun, tears stopping, opened his arms. He was happy to have the loving Yoon Jong-jae and siblings by his side. Yoon Ju-won, as usual, received many love letters for Kim San-ha and Kang Hae-jun, which he put in her backpack. Then, a friend noticed one letter addressed to Yoon Ju-won. Realizing someone wrote her a love letter, Yoon Ju-won was surprised. She and her friend went to the playground, carefully opened the love letter, and read the heartfelt message. The letter was signed with an X. Even so, Yoon Ju-won felt she had bragging rights in front of her brothers. On her way home, she intended to boast to Kim San-ha but forgot where she put the letter. Kim San-ha thought she was making it up and criticized her for not focusing on her studies. Yoon Ju-won, annoyed, shouted out the window. Kim San-ha pulled her head back in and steadied her, still scared from a childhood memory of his sister being taken away by an ambulance. To find out who wrote the love letter, Yoon Ju-won and her friend looked for suspects in the hallway. A boy complained about always running out of strawberry-flavored milk, which he used as a pick-me-up. Mistaking him for the secret admirer, Yoon Ju-won was about to confront him when she heard him complain about the shortage. Realizing the mistake, she quickly left. After a tense day of searching with no progress, Yoon Ju-won still wanted to help her friend. She knew her friend liked Kang Hae-jun, so she invited her friend over. Unfortunately, neither Kang Hae-jun nor Kim San-ha were home. To help her friend get to know Kang Hae-jun better, she took her friend into his room. Yoon Ju-won saw clothes scattered on the floor and quickly stuffed them under the quilt, awkwardly explaining that Kang Hae-jun is not usually like this. After several days, they still couldn't figure out who Student X was. Unable to resist showing off, Yoon Ju-won excitedly pulled out a love letter to show Kim San-ha and Kang Hae-jun, urging them to take a good look. The letter had her name on it. Kang Hae-jun chased after her to see the contents, and the two playfully scuffled while Kim San-ha snatched the letter. Seeing Yoon Ju-won excited about a potential romance changed his expression instantly. With her friend's help, Yoon Ju-won finally found out that Student X, the letter writer, was the handsome and tall class heartthrob from the next class who had a charming smile. Yoon Ju-won took the initiative, but unexpectedly bumped into the heartthrob as she entered a room. He admitted he wrote the letter, attracted by her cheerful nature, and asked her out for food after school. Yoon Ju-won excitedly accepted. In front of the heartthrob, Yoon Ju-won was careful to appear elegant. However, she noticed his peculiar eating habits. He washed spicy rice cakes with water and picked out carrots from sushi. When she wanted cake, he remarked that sweets were bad. Yoon Ju-won dismissed these as dietary differences, but outside the restaurant, the heartthrob mentioned her being from a single-parent family, which she could not accept. In her view, with a father and two brothers, she was happier than many others. Due to differing values, she decided to stop dating him. Meanwhile, Kang Hae-jun, unaware of the situation, excitedly told his father about Yoon Ju-won's date. He had taken Kim San-ha to watch over the situation at school. Kim San-ha told him that opposition often strengthens a relationship, as was the case with Romeo and Juliet. Kang Hae-jun, without taking any action, went to check on them and was glad Yoon Ju-won's first date was with a decent person. Before he could finish telling his father, Yoon Ju-won returned home. Kang Hae-jun asked about their time together, and Yoon Ju-won complained that the guy didn't eat cake, which she could not stand. Kim San-ha sensed she was hiding something, but she insisted it was just about the cake. The next day, the heartthrob apologized for his words and hoped they could still be friends. Yoon Ju-won made sure he hadn't shared their conversation and considered staying friends. Kim San-ha, unhappy with her compromise, urged her to reject the heartthrob and cut ties. Suddenly, he saw his long-lost mother, who had called him before, but he had refused to answer. Realizing she was prepared, he told Yoon Ju-won to go home first, while he talked with his mother. Yoon Ju-won, concerned, pulled Kang Hae-jun to watch from outside, ready to intervene if needed. Kang Hae-jun, watching Kim San-ha reunite with his mother, thought of his own, and returned home feeling forlorn. Kim San-ha asked his mother what brought her to see him. His mother said that his 7-year-old sister had never met her brother. Kim San-ha, holding back his anger, accused his mother of not visiting him for 10 years. Surprisingly, his mother showed no remorse and claimed she had come to let go of the past and was willing to forgive Kim San-ha, hoping for a reunion between the siblings. At that moment, Kim San-ha realized that even after 10 years, his mother still blamed him for his sister's death. He stood up, wished his mother happiness, but asked that they no longer keep in touch. Kim San-ha left with Yoon Ju-won, who was waiting outside. However, he was constantly haunted by the memory of his sister's accident, leading to a near miss with a car due to his distracted state. Thankfully, Yoon Ju-won pulled him to safety. Deeply grateful, Kim San-ha decided to put his worries aside and make Yoon Ju-won happy. They went to enjoy some cake, and seeing Yoon Ju-won's contentment healed him. He cherished the joy of being with Yoon Ju-won. Kim San-ha's mother came looking for his father, wanting to bring Kim San-ha to Seoul for better education opportunities and to reunite the family. Hearing this, his father exploded in anger, ridiculing her sudden talk of family unity after abandoning Kim San-ha years ago. Because of her past accusations, Kim San-ha still suffered nightmares. His father warned his ex-wife to respect their son's wishes and avoid causing further harm. He shared his frustrations with Yoon Jong-jae, who advised him to go home and talk it out with Kim San-ha, as avoiding the topic of their mother wouldn't solve anything. Kim San-ha, deducing that his mother had visited his father, discussed with Yoon Ju-won how to address the situation. Kang Hae-jun, overhearing the conversation, angrily pointed out it was just a mother visiting her son and nothing unusual. Kim San-ha expressed his desire for his mother to stop visiting, which angered Kang Hae-jun, who had always hoped for his mother to come for him. Kim San-ha shared that his mother still believed he was responsible for his sister's death, and he didn't wish to change her mind, but rather to live separately as before. Kang Hae-jun tried to persuade him otherwise, but Kim San-ha stopped him, explaining that some family members can hurt each other, and he and his mother were such people. Kang Hae-jun apologized for not considering the pain Kim San-ha had endured. Yoon Ju-won, standing at the door, reminded them that she had never met her mother since birth, which was even worse. She then suggested they go downstairs for ice cream, but Kang Hae-jun locked himself in his room, needing time alone to cope with his longing for his mother. Meanwhile, Kang Hae-jun's father tried to change his son's perspective by treating his basketball team to burgers. Thinking Yoon Jong-jae had bought them, Kang Hae-jun threw away everyone's burgers upon learning they were from his father, leading to mockery from his peers for being a spoiled rich kid. Kang Hae-jun was very angry and fighting with someone when Kim San-ha came to find him. He mentioned something important about Yoon Ju-won, so Kang Hae-jun calmed down and followed him. It turned out Kim San-ha had accidentally met the school hunk, who, knowing he was Yoon Ju-won's brother, tried to impress him but accidentally showed chat records from a date where he mentioned Yoon Ju-won's single-parent status and lack of a mother. The brothers couldn't tolerate such talk about Yoon Ju-won and dragged the hunk to the equipment room to demand the full conversation of that day. Yoon Ju-won, informed by a classmate, rushed to the scene and found Kang Hae-jun holding the hunk's collar. She recited exactly what the hunk had said that day. After she finished, Kang Hae-jun explained it was all a misunderstanding. He had only tried to scare the hunk and grabbed his collar to prevent him from falling. Once the misunderstanding was cleared, Kang Hae-jun warned the hunk not to befriend Yoon Ju-won, while Kim San-ha advised Yoon Ju-won not to internalize everything like Kang Hae-jun and to share both good and bad moments together. Kim San-ha's mother arrived at Yoon Jong-jae's noodle shop looking for him. Kim San-ha did not want to engage with her, but she used his daughter to keep him there, asking her to call him brother and questioning if the girl with him resembled his deceased sister. Kim San-ha, not wanting to speak harshly in front of the child, asked Yoon Ju-won to take the sister out. During their talk, Yoon Ju-won learned that Kim San-ha's mother wanted to take him to Seoul. Kim San-ha wished for his mother to respect his decision to stay as he had family here and never considered leaving. He then told his mother to leave and not disturb the business. Kang Hae-jun felt Kim San-ha was too harsh with his mother. In anger, Kim San-ha explained that his relationship with his mother was unique. At least Kang Hae-jun's mother had lied about returning, whereas his mother had outright abandoned him. Kang Hae-jun, unable to accept this, believed his mother would return once she earned enough money. Kim San-ha urged him to face reality as 10 years had passed without her return. In his anger, Kang Hae-jun punched Kim San-ha to the ground. Kim San-ha admitted in fury that in the eyes of others, they were both the same, children abandoned by their mothers. After Kim San-ha and Kang Hae-jun had a fight, they started giving each other the cold shoulder. Yoon Ju-won tried tirelessly to reconcile them, but to no avail. Distressed by their indifference and with Kang Hae-jun's birthday approaching, she knew she had to mend their relationship before then, or face unpleasant remarks from Kang Hae-jun's aunt. At that moment, the school heartthrob approached Yoon Ju-won, wanting to rekindle their relationship and inviting her to go skybiking over the weekend. When Yoon Ju-won saw the poster proclaiming it could turn friends into lovers, she returned it, noticing instead that skybiking could also enhance friendships. She quickly concocted a plan to go skybiking with both brothers and invited Park Dal to join them, making up 2 teams. That weekend, after Park Dal's mother dropped her off at the tutoring center, urging her to study hard, Park Dal quickly met up with Yoon Ju-won, who had been waiting with her brothers. The brothers complained about the crowd, which had gathered upon hearing Yoon Ju-won's class announcement about the outing. The whole school had learned that the 2 handsome brothers would be there, drawing a large crowd wanting to get close to them. As it was their turn to bike, Park Dal was still absent, and the heartthrob tried to sit with Yoon Ju-won. Still in their Cold War, Kim San-ha and Kang Hae-jun forbade him from getting any closer. With no other choice, Yoon Ju-won had her brothers sit behind while she pedaled hard, putting on headphones to ignore their conversation and hoping they would make peace. They continued ignoring each other until they saw how tired Yoon Ju-won was getting. Not wanting to let her down, Kang Hae-jun apologized first for the fight, prompting Kim San-ha to reflect on his actions before escalating them. Although Kang Hae-jun admitted to no wrong other than fighting, the unresolved tension led them to brawl again right on the seat. After biking, Yoon Ju-won was very thirsty, but all water was sold out. She told her brothers she would look for Park Dal and ask them to go ahead. Park Dal, who was late, was being harassed by boys from another school. Classmates quickly informed Kim San-ha and Kang Hae-jun. Kang Hae-jun rushed to help, but Yoon Ju-won got there first. Overcome by thirst, she fainted by Park Dal's side. The boys, scared, hurried to get water. Before they could give it to her, Kim San-ha and Kang Hae-jun arrived, misinterpreting the scene as bullying and knocked down the boys. The matter escalated to the police station, where the police called their parents. Kim Dae-wook arrived quickly, ready to severely reprimand the boys until classmates explained they were only trying to protect their sister. Understanding the situation, Kim Dae-wook decided not to blame the children and prepared to take them home. Park Dal was afraid her mother would find out, so she decided to get off at the entrance of the tutoring center. However, her mother saw her as she alighted. Her mother was very strict, demanding not only good academic performance, but also limiting her friendships. She was extremely angry and questioned Park Dal about where she had been and with whom. Park Dal quickly explained that she had been with Yoon Ju-won, whose brother is a top student, and she had taken the opportunity to ask him some academic questions. Her mother decided to believe her this time. Yoon Ju-won was so tired that she fell asleep in the car. Kim San-ha and Kang Hae-jun carried her back to her room and placed her on the bed. She asked if they had made up. They pretended they had and quickly let go of each other outside the door. However, they agreed to pretend to be reconciled in front of Yoon Ju-won, so as not to worry her. Seeing the brothers acting like they had reconciled, Yoon Ju-won finally felt at ease. She happily returned to class with Park Dal, where classmates were spreading gossip that Kang Hae-jun liked Park Dal because he had rushed to help her when she was in trouble the day before. Park Dal felt embarrassed upon hearing the rumors. Yoon Ju-won, trying to play matchmaker, dragged her to ask Kang Hae-jun about it, hoping they would take this chance to start dating. However, they unexpectedly saw another girl harassing Kang Hae-jun, questioning if he liked Park Dal. Kang Hae-jun thought of Park Dal as a friend of his sister, almost like a sister himself, and felt it was his duty to help. Park Dal was heartbroken. Yoon Ju-won stepped forward and stomped on Kang Hae-jun's foot in anger. The day before Kang Hae-jun's birthday, Yoon Ju-won and Kim San-ha went shopping for a birthday gift. They bought basketball shoes for Kang Hae-jun, and Kim San-ha bought a pair for Yoon Ju-won as well. He knelt to help her change her shoes. The salesperson, mistaking them for a cute couple, gave them a discount at the employee rate. Kim San-ha was about to explain, but Yoon Ju-won quickly held onto his arm to thank the salesperson. At that moment, Kim San-ha's mother was in the mall having lunch with her daughter, who was insisting on finding her brother. Kim San-ha's mother was very annoyed and said her son did not want to see them. She went to the restroom, instructing her daughter not to wander off. However, the daughter saw Kim San-ha and Yoon Ju-won passing by outside and immediately ran after them, but she tripped and fell in her haste. Kim San-ha and Yoon Ju-won rushed over to check on her. Kim San-ha's mother also arrived, and seeing her daughter's injured knee, she blamed her for not listening and complained that problems arise whenever she is with Kim San-ha. Yoon Ju-won, unhappy with Kim San-ha's mother's hurtful words, retorted that only good things happen when with Kim San-ha. She mentioned that her father had recently won a prize and that the withered flowers in their apartment had come back to life, all since Kim San-ha had been staying there. She then pulled Kim San-ha away, and they went to listen to a live singer. Kim San-ha was touched and sweetened by Yoon Ju-won's words and remembered the times they had spent together. He reached out subconsciously to tidy her hair, but ended up just patting her head. On Kang Hae-jun's birthday, Yoon Jung-jae took the day off so that the family could happily celebrate together. Every year, Kang Hae-jun's aunt visits on his birthday, and this year is no exception. However, every time she visits, she insists that Kang Hae-jun help out more at others' homes. Seeing him, she pulls him into a room, scolding him for not taking care of his sister, Yoon Ju-won. She advises him to leave with his biological father, noting that Yoon Jung-jae, who has been caring for him for 10 years, has been more than gracious and should not be burdened with his college fees anymore. Yoon Jung-jae, overhearing this conversation from outside the door, is deeply hurt. After a few drinks, he expresses his frustrations, lamenting that he didn't meet Kang Hae-jun sooner. If he had cared for him from an early age, no one would have been able to disrupt their relationship. Kang Hae-jun and Yoon Ju-won help their father to his room to rest. The aunt feels awkward but reconsiders her previous thoughts after hearing Yoon Jung-jae's words. Before she leaves, she advises Kang Hae-jun to forget his mother and treat Yoon Jung-jae as his real father and to live well in the future. Kang Hae-jun brings Yoon Jung-jae water and sobering medicine, then goes to the balcony to find his brother and sister. Kim San-ha and Yoon Ju-won pass him their colas, and the three restore their old friendship. The next day, while Yoon Jung-jae is busy at the noodle shop before opening hours, Kang Hae-jun's mother, who has been absent for years, shows up. Yoon Jung-jae hastily tries to call Kang Hae-jun, but is stopped by his mother. She presents a large sum of money, repaying a debt and providing for Kang Hae-jun's college fees. Yoon Jung-jae pleads with her to see her son, who has missed her over the years. However, she expresses no desire to take her son back, preferring not to meet at all. As Yoon Jung-jae watches her leave, he is unsure how to explain everything to Kang Hae-jun. Meanwhile, Kim San-ha receives a call from his mother, ordering him to let his sister answer. He learns that his sister has run away from home to find him, but he hasn't seen her. Panic sets in as Kim San-ha can't find his sister in the noodle shop, and he and Yoon Ju-won split up to search for her. Simultaneously, Kim Dae-wook receives a missing person report about a young girl he has never seen before, unaware that she is his ex-wife's daughter. Just as he attempts to get her family's contact information, Kim San-ha calls to report her missing. Recognizing the girl from Kim San-ha's description, he brings her back to the noodle shop. Upon seeing Kim San-ha, she runs excitedly to him. Kim San-ha scolds her for running off. His mother arrives in a rush, relieved her daughter is safe but blaming Kim San-ha. If he had been more proactive in visiting his sister, this would not have happened. Kim Dae-wook reminds his ex-wife that Kim San-ha and his sister have only met a few times and are not yet close enough to meet spontaneously. Angered, she emphasizes that family ties are more important than familiarity. She scolds Kim San-ha again, saying she was trying to forgive him, seeing how much his sister wanted to live with him, but she ends up reopening old wounds by blaming him for the death of another sister. Kim Dae-wook pulled his ex-wife outside, He asked his ex-wife not to appear in front of Kim San-ha. Neither of them was at home when it happened. Their daughter choked to death. Kim San-ha was still a child and didn't know how to cope, a grieving Kim San-ha left alone. Yoon Ju-won insisted on following him, but Kang Hae-jun stopped her. Kim San-ha now needed space to be alone. Holding his body, Kim San-ha remembered the loneliness of that time. He had forgotten to wear his shoes and followed the ambulance to the hospital. He waited outside the emergency room alone, terrified, a pain he would never forget. His closest mother still saw him as a murderer. From that day on, Kim San-ha stopped waiting for Yoon Ju-won and Kang Hae-jun, skipped breakfast, and went to school alone. Every morning, Yoon Ju-won brought different breakfasts to Kim San-ha's class and left notes that made him smile after a long time. Kang Hae-jun waited for Kim San-ha at the bus stop and comforted him. Though his mother was unreliable, at least he had a father, unlike himself, who had neither. Kang Hae-jun initiated a conversation about a topic he had always avoided. His mother had promised to return when she made enough money, a lie he suspected since middle school, but couldn't admit until confronted by Kim San-ha, which angered him even though it was shameful. However, he never skipped meals, so Kim San-ha should learn from him. After night classes, Kim San-ha found it raining heavily. All umbrellas at the convenience store were sold out, so he had to run home in the rain. At the building entrance, he saw Yoon Ju-won waiting for him. He told Yoon Ju-won that avoiding them was because he felt ashamed they saw him argue with his mother. Yoon Ju-won rolled her eyes and urged him to come inside quickly. In the room, Kim San-ha noticed Yoon Ju-won's shoes were soaked, realizing she hadn't just come downstairs. Kang Hae-jun then told him that Yoon Ju-won had been walking around the bus stop waiting for him. With mixed feelings, Kim San-ha drank the soup Yoon Jong-jae had specially made for him amid their caring looks, and finally broke down in tears. After dinner, the three talked on the balcony. Kim San-ha spoke about his deceased sister for the first time, missing her. Yoon Ju-won also regretted never meeting her mother, and Kang Hae-jun missed his mother. 3 children, each from imperfect families, had grown up together, thankful for choosing the right family. That night, Kim San-ha developed a fever. Yoon Ju-won, Kang Hae-jun, and both fathers took turns caring for him. Hearing Kim San-ha repeatedly call his deceased sister's name, his father recalled his ex-wife's words. Despite her faults, she was right about one thing. His sister's death was a mental block for Kim San-ha. The only chance to resolve this was now. After the fever subsided, his father took him to pay respects to his sister, solemnly telling him her death was never his fault. He didn't want his son living in guilt. Kim San-ha comforted his father, promising to drive there himself next year after getting his driver's license. That day, Yoon Ju-won pulled the 2 brothers along. Park Dal's mother wanted to treat them to steak. Kim San-ha, skeptical of free lunches, demanded the truth. Yoon Ju-won admitted that Park Dal's mother was unhappy with Park Dal's math grades and had ordered her to borrow notes from Kim San-ha, which Park Dal was reluctant to do. Mom decided to organize a dinner and invite Kim San-ha over. The 3 siblings went to a high-end restaurant for the first time. Looking at the delicious spread of food, Yoon Ju-won and Kang Hae-jun were very excited. However, Park Dal's mother kept belittling her own child. She criticized Park Dal's intellect and said Park Dal was only good at studying. The trio felt awkward, and since she was an elder, they didn't dare to talk back. Park Dal stopped her mom as she came out of the restroom, hoping her mom would save her some face in front of friends. She didn't mind the criticism at home, but she needed to maintain her dignity in front of classmates. Her mom, unrepentant, continued to scold Park Dal for not being outstanding enough. Yoon Ju-won noticed Park Dal had been crying. To cheer Park Dal up, the 4 went to the beach after dinner. The lively Yoon Ju-won and Kang Hae-jun excitedly splashed into the water. Kim San-ha watched his cheerful siblings with a smile. He handed his notes to Park Dal, comforting her not to mind what her mom said and to understand what she really wanted. Kang Hae-jun saw the 2 talking and hinted to Yoon Ju-won, guessing Park Dal liked Kim San-ha. Yoon Ju-won thought Kang Hae-jun was foolish for not realizing Park Dal liked him. Recently, Kang Hae-jun's aunt had a baby, and Kang Hae-jun received a message from her to visit the baby. Park Dal also got a call from her mom and had to leave early. Only Yoon Ju-won and Kim San-ha went home together. Kang Hae-jun was thrilled to see the baby, noting the baby looked like his aunt. A nurse commented that Kang Hae-jun also looked like his mom. mentioning his mom had visited a few days ago and they looked like mother and son. Shocked and saddened, Kang Hae-jun learned from his aunt that his mom had visited the hospital only to repay a debt and did not want to see him. Disappointed, Kang Hae-jun went home and overheard Yoon Jong-jae and Kim Dae-wook discussing whether to tell him about his mom. Yoon Jong-jae was conflicted about telling Kang Hae-jun his mom came back. Kim Dae-wook felt it would only hurt Kang Hae-jun more as his mom didn't want to acknowledge him and advised against telling him. Kang Hae-jun cried outside the noodle shop, unable to understand why his mom would treat him this way. Meanwhile, Yoon Ju-won, walking on the street, complained about Kang Hae-jun's dullness for not noticing Park Dal's feelings for him. Kim Sun-ha teased Yoon Ju-won for also being slow to notice, and just as Yoon Ju-won was about to retort, she accidentally fell. Kim Sun-ha caught the fallen Yoon Ju-won. Kim Sun-ha is smitten and wants to confess to Yoon Ju-won, but the naive Yoon Ju-won is still conflicted. She stands up and immediately starts accusing Kim Sun-ha, insisting she is not slow-witted. Kim Sun-ha ends up amused and doesn't confess. Both head to the front door and see Kang Hae-jun sitting alone in a corner. Kim Sun-ha senses Kang Hae-jun's distress, and Kang Hae-jun confesses that his mother returned home only to repay a debt, not to see him. To avoid worrying the others, he claims he doesn't want to see her either. Yoon Ju-won and Kim Sun-ha understand his feelings and give him their buns to eat. Kang Hae-jun sees Yoon Jong-jae struggling to wash their school uniforms and offers to help. He notices a plaster on Yoon Jong-jae's neck and feels sorry for him. To ease Yoon Jong-jae's burden, he suggests using the money his mother repaid to cover his university fees, planning to repay it himself with future earnings. Yoon Jong-jae realizes Kang Hae-jun knew about his mother's visit. Kang Hae-jun tells him to reject any future visits from his mother on his behalf, saying he doesn't want to see her. Kang Hae-jun then looks down, resigned to the likelihood of not seeing his mother again since the debt is repaid. Yoon Jong-jae can't alleviate Kang Hae-jun's longing for his mother, but reminds him not to mention the repayment again, words Yoon Ju-won also wouldn't say or need to. In Yoon Jong-jae's eyes, both he and Yoon Ju-won are his own children. Kang Hae-jun cries under his covers late at night. Kim Dae-wook shares good news with Yoon Jong-jae that Kim Sun-ha's family is moving back to Seoul, ensuring no further disturbances. Yoon Jong-jae is relieved, looking forward to peaceful days again. Kim Dae-wook is puzzled as Kang Hae-jun's biological father hasn't appeared lately, unaware he's actually with Kang Hae-jun, still planning to take him to the USA. Kang Hae-jun mocks his father's attempts to bond, not believing a man who abandoned his family. Kang Hae-jun is called away by classmates as a basketball coach from Seoul comes to watch him play. The coaches admire his skills, but regret his decision to attend a local university, thinking it a lost opportunity for a professional career. Kang Hae-jun's father overhears this and realizes his son's talent. Yoon Ju-won goes upstairs to deliver something to Kim Sun-ha, lies on his bed, and recalls their close embrace during a fall. Kim Sun-ha, fearing he can't restrain himself, quickly sends Yoon Ju-won away and shuts the door to calm down. Yoon Ju-won, misunderstanding his irritation as exam stress, writes a wish card hoping for her brother's success. Park Dal, envious of her having brothers, jokes about giving Kang Hae-jun to her. On exam day, the family is busy early. Yoon Ju-won tells her father to make extra fried eggs and reminds her brothers to watch the door threshold, then gives them chocolate for when their blood sugar is low. Yoon Ju-won and her two dads watched as the two headed to the exam room, reminding them not to worry too much. If the questions are too difficult, just give up, they advised. And if you don't know the answer, choose C. In the exam room, top student Kim Sun-ha had no trouble with the questions, while Kang Hae-jun felt very anxious. Both managed to finish and left the exam room to attend a celebration party prepared by Yoon Ju-won. She had specially invited Park Dal, hoping to create an opportunity for her and Kang Hae-jun. During the barbecue, Yoon Ju-won accidentally burned herself. It was a minor injury, but Kim Sun-ha was overly concerned and quickly took her to apply some ointment. The careless Kang Hae-jun commented that the burn wasn't serious and didn't understand why Kim Sun-ha was so worried. However, the perceptive Park Dal noticed that Kim Sun-ha had feelings for Yoon Ju-won. Meanwhile, Yoon Ju-won, who was also oblivious, wanted to delay dinner to give Park Dal more time to confess her feelings. Kim Sun-ha declined her suggestion, which she misinterpreted as a lack of interest in helping, not realizing that being alone with her was difficult for him. Kang Hae-jun shared a personal story about his mother with Park Dal, who was moved by his story. Surprised by her compassion, he thought she was a kind and good girl and wanted to help her fulfill her wish to pursue Kim San-ha. Park Dal clarified she wasn't interested in Kim San-ha, but Kang Hae-jun thought she was just too shy to admit it. When Kim San-ha and Yoon Ju-won returned, Kang Hae-jun suggested Kim San-ha take Park Dal home. Both Kim San-ha and Park Dal were speechless, fully aware of whom the other liked and shared the same concerns about confessing, fearing it might ruin their current relationship if the feelings were not reciprocated. On the way back, Kim San-ha received a call from his mother, urging him to apply to a university in Seoul so the family could see each other more often. He angrily refused, and after a harsh exchange, he hung up on her. The next day, Seoul University's team visited their school for a match, and everyone cheered for Kang Hae-jun, whose father also came in his sports car. Before the game, an opposing player mocked Kang Hae-jun's father for being poor and buying discounted shoes. Yoon Jong-jae, an important figure to Kang Hae-jun, motivated him to excel and win the game by a large margin. After the game, Kim San-ha saw Kang Hae-jun's father leaving and confronted him about his intentions. His father claimed it was adult business and drove away. Kim San-ha hurried to find Kang Hae-jun, suspecting his father would approach Yoon Jong-jae. Kang Hae-jun's father later appeared at a noodle shop with a brochure from an American basketball school, blaming Yoon Jong-jae for not sending Kang Hae-jun to a better school and jeopardizing his future. Kim Dae-wook, angered, knocked him down, defending Yoon Jong-jae's decade of raising Kang Hae-jun by selling noodles and asserting his own lack of right to be a father. Yoon Jong-jae firmly told the biological father that if Kang Hae-jun wanted to go to the American school, he would sell his house to make it happen. Kang Hae-jun, having seen his father, told him not to bother convincing him anymore. He wouldn't go to America. His father threatened him with 100 ways to shut down Yoon Jong-jae's noodle shop if he didn't change his mind. Kang Hae-jun worried his father would do something terrible. Just then, he received a message from Yoon Jong-jae inviting him home for dinner. No longer dwelling on things that hadn't happened, he happily ate the meal Yoon Jong-jae prepared. Yoon Jong-jae asked him if he wanted to go to the US to study basketball, believing he had the talent for a better platform. Staying in the countryside was a real waste, he thought. Kang Hae-jun firmly replied he did not want to leave home. The US was too far, and he couldn't manage living alone. After dinner, the three siblings chatted on the balcony. Kang Hae-jun told them he had driven their father away. Then, Kim San-ha received a call that visibly shook him. He rushed downstairs to tell his father that his mother's family had been in a car accident, killing her current husband instantly. Upon hearing of his mother's accident, Kim San-ha and his father hurried to Seoul. Fortunately, his mother survived after surgery. Their uncle asked an aunt to temporarily care for his sister, but she clung to Kim San-ha's hand, insisting on staying with him. Unable to refuse her, Kim San-ha decided to stay and take care of his sister until it was time to submit college applications. His father advised him he didn't need to stay. After all, their mother had neglected him for many years. Kim San-ha reassured his father he wouldn't overthink it. Once his mother woke up, he would leave his sister with her. The doctor announced the anesthesia had worn off, but their mother hadn't awakened, possibly subconsciously unwilling. Their uncle suggested Kim San-ha try to awaken her. Looking at his mother on the hospital bed, recalling their arguments and harsh words, Kim San-ha felt regret and sadness. He remembered being sick as a child and his mother caring for him. At this moment, all he hoped was for her to wake up soon. Kim San-ha missed Yoon Ju-won, thinking of chatting with her every day. Yoon Ju-won complained that even though Kim San-ha had been gone only a day, it felt like a century to her. Kim San-ha felt the same, and wished he could sprout wings and fly back immediately. Yoon Ju-won suggested the family visit Kim San-ha in Seoul, but her father and Kang Hae-jun opposed, arguing that visiting would only cause more chaos as Kim San-ha was busy caring for his mother and sister. Despite this, Yoon Ju-won didn't give up the idea. With no one to accompany her, she decided to go alone. She left early before her father and Kang Hae-jun woke up and called Park Dal to ask her to cover for her. If Kang Hae-jun asked, Park Dal was to say they were together. It was Yoon Ju-won's first time in a big city, first time riding the subway. She finally found the hospital where Kim San-ha was. Seeing him tiredly sitting in a chair, she was deeply moved and wanted to go comfort him. But then she saw his sister excitedly jump into his arms, shouting that their mother had woken up. Watching Kim San-ha and his sister embrace, Yoon Ju-won stood frozen, realizing for the first time how fragile non-blood relations could be. She didn't approach Kim San-ha, nor did she let him know she had been there. Kang Hae-jun, looking for summer job information, accidentally saw Park Dal coming out of a tutoring class. He asked where Yoon Ju-won was, and Park Dal lied, saying Yoon Ju-won was in the bathroom. Kang Hae-jun exposed her lies because Yoon Ju-won couldn't possibly be at the tutoring center. Park Dal had no choice but to reveal the truth. As soon as Yoon Ju-won stepped out of the station, she saw Kang Hae-jun waiting for her. Kang Hae-jun felt scared. If she had an accident in Seoul, no one would be there to help her. He warned her never to be impulsive again. Kim San-ha excitedly texted Yoon Ju-won that their mother had woken up and he would soon return. However, upon arriving at the hospital room, he found his mother sitting on the floor, breaking down. She cried that her daughter had died. After her divorce, she had finally met a decent man and wanted to live a good life, but now her husband had also died. She was paralyzed in both legs and condemned to live in a wheelchair for the rest of her life. She couldn't accept such a cursed life, thinking it was retribution for abandoning Kim San-ha. Kim San-ha shouted in anger that it was an accident, and the doctor had said her survival was a miracle. He pleaded with her to pull herself together for the sake of her sister. His mother lay on the floor, weeping and scolding Kim San-ha for not understanding her pain. Their uncle advised Kim San-ha to attend a university in Seoul, but he had to return to work. Given their mother's condition and the needs of his disabled mother and young sister, they couldn't be left alone. He faced a tough choice because he had already decided to attend a nearby university and not leave Yoon Ju-won. He sat paralyzed at the hospital doorway, desperately needing to hear Yoon Ju-won's voice, but she had fallen asleep early after a busy day. His sister gave Kim San-ha a small cake with a candle for him to make a wish. He lit the candle, closed his hands in prayer, and his sister urged him to voice his wish so someone could help make it come true. Kim San-ha blew out the candle, sadly noting that no one would help fulfill his wish. Meanwhile, Kang Hae-jun found out that Yoon Jong-jae had changed the business hours, originally closing at 7 p.m., but now open until 10 p.m. Due to the long hours, Yoon Jong-jae fainted at the noodle shop. Kang Hae-jun and Yoon Ju-won rushed him to the hospital, where the doctor attributed the fainting to overwork and stressed the need for rest. Yoon Jong-jae, however, left the hospital immediately upon regaining consciousness to return home. Kang Hae-jun guessed the desperate reason behind Yoon Jong-jae's relentless work, which weighed heavily on him. Kim Dae-wook advised Yoon Jong-jae not to overexert himself, as even his death wouldn't cover Kang Hae-jun's educational expenses in America, and he hadn't even asked if Kang Hae-jun wanted to go. Feeling incapable, Yoon Jong-jae was embarrassed to ask. Kim Dae-wook suggested that it might be better to let Kang Hae-jun go to America with his biological father, or else Yoon Jong-jae would regret ruining his son's future. Kang Hae-jun was deeply conflicted. He never considered leaving his family, but saw how hard Yoon Jong-jae worked for him, even to the point of illness. He felt guilty and like a burden. His friend thought staying would only cost more money and suggested letting his biological father pay for his education. Once successful, he could return and honor Yoon Jong-jae. Unsure of what to do, Kang Hae-jun returned home and saw the noodle shop still bustling with Yoon Jong-jae and Yoon Ju-won busy at work. He quickly took over Yoon Jong-jae's duties, and they cleaned up the shop together until 11 p.m. Yoon Jong-jae was very tired. Kang Hae-jun walked to the door and ripped off the business hours sign, asking Yoon Jong-jae to revert to the original hours. He finally decided to go to America with his biological father. Yoon Jong-jae clearly stated that he did not want him to go with his biological father. If possible, he wanted to support him going abroad on his own. Kang Hae-jun cried, saying he did not want Yoon Jong-jae to become so weary because of him. Watching Kang Hae-jun's back, Yoon Jong-jae felt his son was slowly leaving his world. Yet, for his son's future, he couldn't bring himself to ask him to stay, blaming only his own lack of ability. Kim San-ha returned from Seoul. Yoon Ju-won quickly hugged him. Yoon Jong-jae prepared a large meal to comfort the hardworking Kim San-ha. Only Kang Hae-jun felt very conflicted. Kang Hae-jun took Kim San-ha to the balcony, where Kim San-ha also had something to say. Kim San-ha let Kang Hae-jun speak first. Seeing Kang Hae-jun hesitate, He guessed it involved his biological father and warned him not to go with his father. However, Kang Hae-jun told him he had already decided to leave with his father. Kim San-ha strongly objected because he was also going to Seoul. To persuade Kang Hae-jun to stay, he urged him to think about how Yoon Jong-jae had raised him over the years, and even suspected Kang Hae-jun was enticed by his biological father's wealth. Kang Hae-jun angrily pushed Kim San-ha down. Standing up, Kim San-ha continued to argue. If both of them were going to leave, what about Yoon Ju-won? Hearing their argument, Yoon Ju-won couldn't believe both her brothers would leave her, wondering if she had misheard. Kang Hae-jun couldn't bear to upset her and thought of talking about it later. However, Kim San-ha bluntly stated the facts. He was going to Seoul, and Kang Hae-jun was going to America with his biological father. Since Yoon Ju-won would find out eventually, there was no need to lie. Yoon Ju-won asked both if they were going to find their real families. Yoon Ju-won has two non-biological brothers. As they grew up, both brothers started planning their own lives. Yoon Ju-won struggled to accept that they were both leaving. Yoon Jong-jae called Kang Hae-jun away. Yoon Ju-won asked Kim San-ha for an explanation. Kim San-ha tried to calm her down, but Yoon Ju-won was furious, accusing him of only caring about his mother and sister and not being responsible for her and Yoon Jong-jae. Kim Dae-wook also couldn't accept his son's choices. He wanted to talk with Kim San-ha's uncle, arguing that taking care of Kim San-ha's mother wasn't his son's responsibility and that Kim San-ha didn't need to accompany her to Seoul. Kim San-ha stopped his father's plans, pointing out that their mother had collapsed twice last week, and having already lost a family member once, he couldn't bear losing his mother too. Yoon Ju-won locked herself in her room, refusing to eat with her brothers, and went to school alone. Kang Hae-jun brought food to school, pushing Kim San-ha to join him in delivering it to Yoon Ju-won. Kang Hae-jun complained that Yoon Ju-won had once run off to Seoul alone because she was worried about him. Now that she was upset, Kim San-ha couldn't just do nothing. Only then did Kim San-ha learn about Yoon Ju-won's trip to Seoul. He took the lunchbox and went alone to find her, only to learn that Yoon Ju-won had returned home 3 minutes earlier. He handed the lunchbox to Park Dal, asking her to give it to Kang Hae-jun, then ran off to find Ju Yuan. Park Dal, holding the lunchbox in the playground, got scared when a basketball flew towards her. Kang Hae-jun blocked the ball for her. Kang Hae-jun took the lunchbox, intending to go home, but Park Dal reluctantly held on. She wanted to spend more time with Kang Hae-jun, so she warned that the food might spoil if not eaten soon. Kang Hae-jun got her hint and invited her to share the meal. Park Dal asked Kang Hae-jun when he was leaving for the US. Seeing her hesitation, he encouraged her to bravely confess her feelings to Kim San-ha. Disappointed, Park Dal felt Kang Hae-jun misunderstood her intentions and continued saying that even if she confessed, Kim San-ha might not accept, but not confessing would leave regrets. Park Dal felt very dejected, unable to confess her feelings. Park Dal watched Kang Hae-jun board the bus, waving goodbye. After the bus left, she cried out in pain. Kim San-ha found Yoon Ju-won at a cake shop where she shared that she never knew her mother because she always lived with her father and didn't think it mattered until Kim San-ha and Kang Hae-jun arrived. It was only when all 5 of them dined together that she felt the joy of a family and hoped life could continue like that. But with both Kim San-ha and Kang Hae-jun leaving, she was upset. Kim San-ha held Yoon Ju-won's hand, promising to never leave again once he returned. Yoon Ju-won went home where Kang Hae-jun gave her sweets he bought with all his allowance, hoping her life would still be sweet even in his absence. Yoon Ju-won went to Kang Hae-jun's room, taking many of his belongings to keep with her since he had to leave. Late at night, Kang Hae-jun heard Yoon Jong-jae busy in the kitchen and knew Yoon Jong-jae would miss him. He didn't want to leave either, recalling how Yoon Jong-jae taught him to ride a bike, shave, and play basketball, giving him endless love, a debt he could never repay. He vowed to return right after graduation to take good care of Yoon Jong-jae and Yoon Ju-won. Yoon Jong-jae held his hand and advised him not to expect achievements in the US, but to do what he wanted and return any time after gaining enough experience. Before leaving, Kim San-ha glanced back at his room filled with fond memories, and tears fell. 2 fathers bid farewell to their children. Yoon Ju-won watched her brothers from the balcony, fearing a final goodbye might mean forever. She preferred to never say goodbye. Now, 3 people remained in the home, meant for 5. Yoon Ju-won sat alone on the balcony, reminiscing about times with her brothers. Kim Dae-wook, drunk, was helped home by a colleague, while a composed Yoon Jong-jae felt deep sadness. On Yoon Ju-won's birthday, her fathers threw a party and gave hand-picked gifts. Kim San-ha and Kang Hae-jun sent birthday wishes through videos. As years passed, Yoon Ju-won graduated. Her fathers were always there for her birthdays, but her brothers became distant, only chatting via phone and never returning despite promises. 10 years later, Yoon Ju-won opened a cake shop. Yoon Jong-jae called to discuss her birthday plans, and she promised to visit for seaweed soup. Soon after, Park Dal called about a suspicious figure near her shop, urging caution. Yoon Ju-won was confident her shop held nothing of value, but upon returning from shopping, she sensed someone inside. Bravely confronting the intruder, she was startled by broken glass. As the thief tried to flee, she tripped him with cherries and grabbed his shirt, only to be slapped. Angered, she took the thief to the police station. Yoon Jong-jae and Kim Dae-wook rushed over. Yoon Jong-jae, ignoring the police, scolded the thief and uncovered his face, revealing Kang Hae-jun, who then playfully sought comfort from his fathers. The family was shocked by the reunion under these circumstances. Kim San-ha, who had also returned, found his daughter's shop in chaos before hurrying to the police station. Both sons arriving on the same day surprised and delighted their fathers, but Yoon Ju-won remained distant. Yoon Jong-jae urged her not to treat her brothers as strangers, as it would hurt them. Yoon Ju-won harbored resentment over their long absence. Kim San-ha explained he had been calling, but she refused to answer. Kang Hae-jun, recently discharged from the military and without a phone, had been back a few days, lingering near a noodle shop. He felt he hadn't achieved anything significant since dropping out of college and quitting basketball, making him apprehensive about facing Yoon Jong-jae. Kim San-ha offered to help Yoon Ju-won clean up her cake shop. Yoon Ju-won coldly refused, telling him to go home and stay with their dads. Yoon Ju-won returned to her cake shop where Park Dal had been waiting outside for a long time. She told Park Dal that her brothers had returned and teased her about her first love coming back, asking if she was happy. Park Dal joked that she couldn't even remember what Kang Hae-jun looked like. Park Dal asked Yoon Ju-won how she felt seeing her brothers. Yoon Ju-won said she didn't feel as happy as she thought she would. Kim San-ha and Kang Hae-jun now felt like strangers to her. During a family dinner, Kang Hae-jun and Kim San-ha enjoyed the meal prepared by Yoon Jong-jae and felt very satisfied. Yoon Ju-won accidentally saw a scar on Kim San-ha's hand, but he quickly covered it up. The two dads asked Kim San-ha and Kang Hae-jun about their future plans. The brothers decided to stay and not go anywhere. Yoon Ju-won showed no joy, questioning who agreed to let them stay. The brothers tried to resolve Yoon Ju-won's resentment by catching up with her. Kim San-ha shared how much he missed her over the past 10 years. Yoon Ju-won was unimpressed, pointing out how she and their dads had missed them daily, yet they never returned. Yoon Ju-won angrily left for the house she shared with Park Dal. The brothers regretted their actions, unsure how to make Yoon Ju-won happy. The next day, Yoon Ju-won and Park Dal left for work and saw Kim San-ha, dressed for work, and a shirtless Kang Hae-jun coming out from the next room. Kim San-ha, claiming he was late for work, left Kang Hae-jun to face his sisters alone. After putting on a shirt, Kang Hae-jun faced their questions. Park Dal, not firm in her stance, was quickly swayed by Kang Hae-jun's wink and hurried away with Yoon Ju-won. Before leaving, Yoon Ju-won ordered Kang Hae-jun to visit her at the cake shop. Kang Hae-jun went to the shop to explain that he moved next door to take good care of her. Yoon Ju-won was still unimpressed and told him to move back home and take care of their dads. Kang Hae-jun said he would move back soon, but had something to do, which he needed to keep secret for now. Yoon Ju-won remained angry, even as she noticed Kang Hae-jun was still wearing slippers and handed him a bank card to buy shoes. Just then, Kang Hae-jun received a message and hurriedly left. He met someone who called him boss and asked him to dress more formally next time to avoid disrespect. Kang Hae-jun didn't care and asked the person to show him a shop as he wanted to rent a big and nice place for Yoon Jong-jae. Meanwhile, neighbors at the noodle shop discussed the return of the children. They considered Kim San-ha a successful young doctor with a respectable job and a car, but were worried about Kang Hae-jun's lack of achievements. Yoon Jong-jae wasn't worried at all, happy as long as his children were healthy and happy. Kim Dae-wook suggested moving the noodle shop to the city center where Kang Hae-jun could help, so he wouldn't have to struggle elsewhere. Yoon Jong-jae thought it was a good idea. Kim San-ha, formerly the school beauty, and a junior who was pursuing Yoon Ju-won became colleagues. Kim San-ha asked the junior about Yoon Ju-won's life in recent years, most interested in whether she had a boyfriend. The junior was about to answer when he was called away by other colleagues. Kim San-ha and others waited at the entrance of the cake shop to pick up Yoon Ju-won from work. On the way home, Kim San-ha bought 2 ice pops. The two walked and ate their ice pops. Seeing Yoon Ju-won lift her long hair, he couldn't help but recall how he felt about her years ago. 10 years have passed, and he clearly felt his affection for Yoon Ju-won growing stronger. Park Dal, who is close to Yoon Ju-won, felt the same way. When Park Dal saw Kang Hae-jun again, her heart still raced. She didn't expect that after 10 years, she would still have feelings for Kang Hae-jun. The next day was Yoon Ju-won's birthday. Yoon Jong-jae prepared a meal to celebrate. 4 of them waited to eat with Yoon Ju-won, but she didn't answer her phone. Kang Hae-jun tried calling again just as Yoon Ju-won returned. After 10 years, they gathered again for Yoon Ju-won's birthday, and everyone was happy. Yoon Ju-won coldly questioned Kang Hae-jun about why, 5 years ago, his phone number was out of service. She wondered why he disappeared, even though he stopped playing basketball. Worried, Yoon Jong-jae had called Kang Hae-jun's father, who said he had cut ties with Kang Hae-jun. Kang Hae-jun didn't know what to say. Kim San-ha revealed the truth. Kang Hae-jun had injured his foot. Yoon Jong-jae immediately lifted Kang Hae-jun's trouser leg and saw a long scar on his ankle. Kang Hae-jun reassured everyone that it was just a scar from surgery and it didn't hurt anymore. Unable to face the harsh reality, Yoon Jong-jae excused himself to the kitchen to cry, blaming himself for Kang Hae-jun's plight in America. The atmosphere at home was somber. 3 young people went to the park where Yoon Ju-won once said that everything should be faced together. They had promised to return after graduation but had various reasons for not keeping the promise or even explaining why. She was upset about her brother's secrecy, feeling it meant they couldn't return to how things were before. Kim San-ha apologized for not returning home as promised. Yoon Ju-won questioned him about why he missed the date. Kim San-ha recalled an argument with his mother, who had tried to prevent him from returning, accidentally cutting his arm during the dispute. His mother still called, ordering him to return, but he hadn't told Yoon Ju-won this, claiming he was just busy. Kang Hae-jun went back home to comfort the upset Yoon Jong-jae. Yoon Jong-jae was concerned about whether Kang Hae-jun was in much pain when he got hurt, and whether his father, who had other children, cared for him properly. Kang Hae-jun was touched, feeling loved only in Yoon Jong-jae's presence. Yoon Jong-jae held his hand, wishing to comfort the Kang Hae-jun, who had suffered alone far away. Yoon Ju-won prepared food and celebrated her birthday with Park Dal. When they heard that Kang Hae-jun and Kim San-ha had returned, all their classmates came to the cake shop. Kang Hae-jun arrived at the cake shop, and the classmates were very happy to reunite after many years. Kang Hae-jun explained to Yoon Ju-won that he was late because he had gone to buy new shoes. He then gave Yoon Ju-won a birthday gift he had bought with his own money. Kim San-ha was ready to leave work and hurry over, but got called to see another patient. After he finished, he wanted to rush to the scene but received a message from Yoon Ju-won. All the classmates had already left. Yoon Ju-won told Kim San-ha he didn't need to come. Kim San-ha left the gift he had prepared on the doorknob of Yoon Ju-won's room. When Yoon Ju-won returned and saw the gift, she was surprised. Park Dal complimented Kim San-ha for his taste, noting the earrings matched Yoon Ju-won perfectly. Yoon Ju-won could wear them to her date the next day. The next day, Park Dal and Kang Hae-jun planned to have hangover soup. Last night, Park Dal was drunk and grabbed Kang Hae-jun's face, asking him to notice how her hair and clothes had changed. She mentioned that she gets hit on while walking down the street and has transformed from a naive girl into a charming woman. Kang Hae-jun looked closely at Park Dal and remembered her changed appearance. Park Dal asked Kang Hae-jun to treat her to hangover soup, setting the time for noon the next day. At that moment, face to face, Park Dal felt embarrassed about her behavior the previous night. She carefully asked if she had acted crazy while drunk. Kang Hae-jun calmly described her actions from the night before. Meanwhile, a junior asked Kim San-ha to help him pursue Yoon Ju-won, promising to treat him like an older brother in the future. Unbeknownst to him, Kim San-ha saw him as a potential rival. The junior reported that Yoon Ju-won had a date with a dermatologist who was just good-looking. Learning that Yoon Ju-won was going on the date tonight made Kim San-ha anxious. After work, he rushed to the cake shop but found no one there. Yoon Ju-won wasn't answering her phone. Just as he was getting very worried, Yoon Ju-won suddenly returned to retrieve her forgotten phone. To disrupt Yoon Ju-won's date, Kim San-ha lied that he was hungry. Yoon Ju-won told him to go home and have his father cook for him while she went on her date. Unable to hold back his feelings, Kim San-ha grabbed Yoon Ju-won's wrist and asked her not to go. He confessed his love for Yoon Ju-won, a confession he had been waiting 10 years to make. Yoon Ju-won couldn't initially accept Kim San-ha's love. She forcefully explained that they were family. However, she also liked Kim San-ha as a brother. Kim San-ha didn't give Yoon Ju-won a chance to escape reality. He made her realize the type of affection she had for him and asked her to think it over before responding. Yoon Ju-won felt conflicted and kept thinking about Kim San-ha's confession, which made her forget to attend a meeting. The other party sent a message criticizing her for being irresponsible by breaking the appointment. The next day, Yoon Ju-won went out with Park Dal. They unexpectedly met Kim San-ha. Yoon Ju-won rushed back to her room, asking Park Dal to go ahead. Park Dal guessed her odd behavior was related to Kim San-ha, who admitted it and hoped Park Dal would keep it a secret to avoid making Yoon Ju-won uncomfortable. Kang Hae-jun invited Yoon Ju-won for breakfast. While showing him the food in the fridge, she mentioned a dish he liked. Hearing Kang Hae-jun say "like" reminded her of Kim San-ha's confession. Yoon Ju-won scolded Kang Hae-jun for carelessly using the word "like." Kang Hae-jun was confused as he was just expressing his fondness for sesame leaves, not expecting her sharp reaction. A junior learned that Yoon Ju-won had missed her date and excitedly informed Kim San-ha, unaware that Kim San-ha was the cause. He bragged about giving her flowers on her birthday, thinking she might like him back for that reason. Kim San-ha dismissed this naive junior and kept checking his phone, hoping for a message from Yoon Ju-won. She was also looking at her phone, annoyed by Kim San-ha's sudden confession and his lack of follow-up. A neighbor mentioned at the noodle shop that Yoon Ju-won was of marrying age and should have a boyfriend. She talked about a funeral she attended where the son-in-law managed everything impressively. Yoon Jung-jae, overhearing this, noted he wasn't worried about Yoon Ju-won as he had her and 2 other children, Kang Hae-jun and Kim San-ha. The neighbor, disregarding Kang Hae-jun's presence, bluntly stated he was an outsider. Even if he was considered a son, he would listen to his wife after marriage and couldn't be relied upon. Kang Hae-jun then received a call from an agent saying he needed a direct family relations certificate for a tax deduction on housing. The neighbor's words and the agent's requirement deeply hurt him. He felt an urgent need to prove his family ties with Yoon Jung-jae, which are legally recognized and documented. Yoon Jung-jae called everyone home for dinner. To avoid awkwardness, Yoon Ju-won took the arms of both Kim San-ha and Kang Hae-jun as they walked home. At dinner, she continuously called them brothers, wanting Kim San-ha to understand that he was just like Kang Hae-jun to her, a brother. Kim San-ha grasped her intent, but Kang Hae-jun was lost in thought. He suddenly put down his utensils and announced he wanted to marry Yoon Ju-won. Both fathers were shocked, but Kim San-ha and Yoon Ju-won remained calm, waiting for his explanation. Kang Hae-jun explained that Yoon Ju-won once said they couldn't inherit from each other or share lottery winnings unless they were married. Marrying would solve this, and as the neighbor said, a son-in-law is better than a son. This marriage would simplify the adoption process and confirm their family status without legal complications. Yoon Ju-won complains that his imagination is too wild. He can't help him with this. If he wants to be a son-in-law, let dad adopt a daughter. After dinner, Kim San-ha goes to the balcony to find Yoon Ju-won. Yoon Ju-won doesn't want their relationship to change. She tells Kim San-ha she didn't take his words seriously. Kim San-ha grabs her hand. If she didn't take it seriously, let's start over. Pretend they never knew each other before. Get to know each other again in their current roles. Kim San-ha's world only includes Yoon Ju-won. He asks her for a chance. Yoon Ju-won is stunned. At this moment, she doesn't know what to say. Kim San-ha and Kang Hae-jun go back together. Kang Hae-jun is very troubled. He thinks Kim Dae-wook is Kim San-ha's real dad. so Kim Sun-ha can go home anytime. But it's different for him. He hesitated a lot before returning. If he had a legal kinship with Yoon Jong-jae or Yoon Ju-won, he wouldn't have to worry about this anymore. A friend advises Kang Hae-jun, if he wants to marry Yoon Ju-won, he should date her first. Kang Hae-jun imagines the scenario his friend described. He finds it disgusting. Yoon Ju-won overhears their conversation. She accuses Kang Hae-jun of despising her, which hurts her feelings. Kang Hae-jun decides to help Yoon Ju-won with chores to appease her. They joke and laugh while working, feeling like children again, free and unconstrained. Meanwhile, Kim Dae-wook suddenly gets a call from his ex-wife. Kim San-ha's mother warns she's only giving Kim San-ha a month to rest, and now the time is almost up. She pressures Kim Dae-wook to bring his son back to Seoul. Kim Dae-wook and Yoon Jong-jae rush to bring Kim San-ha back. They ask what happened in Seoul. Kim San-ha has settled back, but his mother said he's only back for a month. Kim San-ha doesn't want to recall his mother's numerous breakdowns. He doesn't reveal that he needs medication to sleep every night. To not worry his fathers, he claims everything is fine. Kim Dae-wook feels guilty for not being able to share his son's burden. He angrily demands Kim San-ha to reveal what he has encountered. But Kim San-ha still says nothing is wrong. Yoon Jong-jae tries to make Kim San-ha understand his father's anger. It's all because he cares about him. He asks again for details. Kim San-ha insists on no secrets. Seeing Yoon Jong-jae's shoulder discomfort, he asks Yoon Jong-jae to come to the hospital for a checkup tomorrow. The next day, Yoon Ju-won accompanies her father to the hospital. While her father is being examined, Kim San-ha takes Yoon Ju-won to another room to treat her wrist. He noticed her wrist movement is due to overuse. Soaking it in medicated water will relieve much of the pain. Yoon Ju-won looks at the gentle Kim San-ha. She clearly feels at this moment. She doesn't see Kim San-ha as a brother, but as a woman feeling attracted to a man. After Yoon Jong-jae's checkup, as they are about to leave, they run into Kim San-ha and a colleague who was the school beauty. The school beauty had briefly dated Kang Hae-jun in school, and now wants to pursue him again. The school beauty grabs Kim San-ha's arm, asking if Kang Hae-jun has a girlfriend. Yoon Jong-jae thinks they look good together. Maybe Kim San-ha will be the first of them to marry. But Yoon Ju-won is unhappy, jealous of Kim San-ha being so close to someone else. Feeling both attraction and jealousy on the same day, Yoon Ju-won can't stay calm anymore. She tries to convince herself it's all a misunderstanding, that Kim San-ha is just her brother. Park Dal noticed she liked someone without realizing it. She advised Yoon Ju-won to think things through. Kang Hae-jun saw a figure on the street that resembled his mother, but he didn't follow. Worried it might be a mistake, and afraid his mother didn't want to see him. Yet, tears involuntarily flowed down his cheeks. Suddenly, Park Dal appeared behind him, noticed his distress, and promised to keep his secret as before, but asked for a favor in return. Recently, Park Dal was being forced by her mother to go on a blind date, unable to escape it. To deal with the blind date, she asked Kang Hae-jun to pretend to be her boyfriend to help her out. Kang Hae-jun thought he was just helping. Unaware, Park Dal hoped he would realize her feelings. Indeed, the figure Kang Hae-jun saw was his long-lost mother. Yoon Jong-jae encountered Kang Hae-jun's mother on the street, but no matter how much he persuaded, she refused to meet her son. Yoon Jong-jae, not wanting to repeat a past mistake, insisted she meet Kang Hae-jun once before leaving. Under pressure, Kang Hae-jun's mother revealed the truth. She had killed someone. Meanwhile, to avoid awkwardness, Yoon Ju-won informed Kim San-ha that they could only be siblings. They ran through the rain from the restaurant to the parking lot, where Kim San-ha wiped the rain off Yoon Ju-won's face and hair, making her blush and look away. Kim San-ha seized the moment to kiss her. Kim San-ha and Yoon Ju-won established their relationship as a couple. Yoon Ju-won worried about explaining this to her family. Kim San-ha hugged her, telling her to just be sure of her feelings and not worry about the rest. Before sleeping, they sweetly wished each other good night and eagerly looked forward to seeing each other in the morning. In front of friends, they pretended to be siblings, but privately, their relationship was quite intimate. Meanwhile, under her mother's pressure, Park Dal went on a blind date. The date immediately asked about her job, salary, and marriage plans. Feeling awkward, Kang Hae-jun, dressed up, confronted her in front of the date, asking if she was betraying him by going on the blind date. Everyone around them quieted down to listen to the gossip. The date demanded Park Dal explain and asked if she knew this man. Kang Hae-jun looked deeply into Park Dal's eyes, asking if she recognized him. Caught up in the moment, Park Dal gazed back at Kang Hae-jun, declaring he was the man she liked. The date angrily left. Kang Hae-jun complimented Park Dal's acting, almost believing she actually liked him. Park Dal was too scared to confess her true feelings. A real estate agent approached and greeted Kang Hae-jun, mentioning a place he looked at had been sold. Hearing the price was 800 million. Park Dal was shocked. Everyone thought Kang Hae-jun was unemployed, but he was actually quite well off. Kang Hae-jun explained he wanted to use 800 million to rent or buy a store for Yoon Jong-jae as a surprise. But Kim Sun-ha advised asking Yoon Jong-jae's opinion first, thinking it would ruin the surprise. Park Dal shared her view that the recipient's opinion should be considered first. Kang Hae-jun agreed and went home to ask Yoon Jong-jae's opinion. Meanwhile, Yoon Jong-jae was worried about whether to tell him his mother had appeared and confessed to a past murder, still struggling to face Kang Hae-jun. She just wants to watch Kang Hae-jun from afar, not disrupting his life. She asked Yoon Jong-jae not to tell Kang Hae-jun about her beauty salon in Busan, fearing she'd have to close and move if he found out. Yoon Jong-jae, wanting to resolve Kang Hae-jun's inner conflicts, decided to speak to Kang Hae-jun's mother again, but before that, he planned to set up a new store for Kang Hae-jun to manage. With his own business, Kang Hae-jun could face his mother proudly. Yoon Jong-jae began searching for a new location, and Kang Hae-jun happily handed him a bank book showing the money he earned from modeling, dishwashing, and waiting tables, wanting to repay Yoon Jong-jae. Stunned by the amount, Yoon Jong-jae realized the efforts behind the savings. Yet he had sent Kang Hae-jun to the US to pursue his dreams, not to repay debts. Angry, Yoon Jong-jae insisted Kang Hae-jun take the bank book and leave, both father and son misunderstanding each other's sacrifices. Kang Hae-jun shared the conflict with Park Dal, who reassured him that Yoon Jong-jae was sad, not angry, and just wanted his happiness, proving his deep love. Knowing his father's feelings, Kang Hae-jun decided to apologize the next day, while Yoon Jong-jae also reflected on his mistakes. Parents should be happy when children bring money home, but he had scolded Kang Hae-jun instead. Kim Dae-wook and the neighborly grandmother thought it was his fault, suggesting he should appreciate Kang Hae-jun's efforts and filial piety, not drive him away. Meanwhile, Yoon Ju-won learned Kim Sun-ha had a fever and rushed to care for him. While looking for clothes, Kim San-ha nervously hid his medication. Together on the sofa, Yoon Ju-won saw a group photo, realizing Kim Sun-ha also cherished it in Seoul. She shared how she often looked at photos when missing him, and Kim Sun-ha promised to never leave again. The next morning, fever-free, Kim Sun-ha made breakfast for Yoon Ju-won, and they received a group message from Yoon Jong-jae featuring Kang Hae-jun's modeling photo, captioned, "My handsome son." Curious about his modeling in the US, Kim Dae-wook had searched for the photos online. Proud, Yoon Jong-jae not only shared the photos in the group, but also displayed them at his noodle shop. Kang Hae-jun rushed to the shop but decided to keep the photos as they were, delighted by customers saying he resembled Yoon Jong-jae. Yoon Jong-jae was pleased, and their past grievances faded. Yoon Ju-won invited Park Dal to the shop, but Park Dal received a call from her mother, upset about her ruining a previous matchmaking attempt, demanding she pretend to be single to marry well. Park Dal cried, hurt by her mother's disregard for her feelings. Sunshine-like Park Dal had her woes too, leaving Kang Hae-jun unsure how to comfort her. Kang Hae-jun then received a message from his aunt, saying his mother was in Busan. Kang Hae-jun found his mother's beauty salon and recalled living with her as a child. However, seeing her happy and smiling, he stopped himself from approaching, respecting her wish not to meet him. Yoon Ju-won dressed up for a date with Kim Sun-ha but hesitated to hold hands in public, fearing someone might see them. She felt the need to inform Kang Hae-jun about their relationship to avoid shocking him with the truth. Outside, they saw Kang Hae-jun sitting on a chair. Kim Sun-ha noticed he seemed troubled and pressed him on what happened. Kang Hae-jun revealed he had seen his mother, who hadn't approached him or acknowledged him. Disheartened, he locked himself in his room, dampening Kim Sun-ha and Yoon Ju-won's mood. They found Kang Hae-jun's mother's address on his phone and decided to confront her. Unexpectedly, they found Yoon Jong-jae with Kang Hae-jun's mother. Yoon Ju-won confronted her father, asking if he knew about Kang Hae-jun's mother being there. Kang Hae-jun's mother explained she had asked Yoon Jong-jae to keep her presence a secret. wishing only to watch Kang Hae-jun from a distance. Yoon Ju-won argued that Kang Hae-jun had always felt abandoned and deserved the truth, regardless of the circumstances. Suddenly, Kang Hae-jun's mother knelt, pleading with them to keep the secret, fearing she'd have to leave if Kang Hae-jun found out. Kim Sun-ha quickly assured her that Kang Hae-jun was unaware of her presence. They had come without telling him. Meanwhile, Kang Hae-jun, alone at home, welcomed two visitors, Kim San-ha's mother and her daughter. Recently, Kim Dae-wook had met with his ex-wife, asking her not to pressure their son to return to Seoul. Kim San-ha's mother remained self-centered, convinced her son would return to avoid upsetting her. Her daughter bluntly stated she had agreed to come to Busan because her mother wanted to see the sea, but it was clear her mother's real goal was to find her son. She explained that if possible, she wanted to stay by the sea, but her daughter saw through her, knowing she wanted Kim San-ha to stay with her. A man wakes up from a drunken stupor to see his childhood friends, a brother and sister, kissing. He thinks he's hallucinating. The next day, he sees them together again in an ambiguous situation. Kim Sun-ha and Yoon Ju-won approach Kang Hae-jun's mother, who kneels and pleads with them not to let her son know her whereabouts. She admits to having killed someone and doesn't want to be recognized by Kang Hae-jun, fearing it would bring him shame. Yoon Ju-won understands the mother's dilemma. She kneels and tells the elder that Kang Hae-jun's greatest burden is his denial of being abandoned by his mother. She hopes the mother will reconsider and meet her son. Meanwhile, Kang Hae-jun is alone, facing Kim San-ha's mother and sister. Kim San-ha's mother, visiting her son's room, coldly asks Kang Hae-jun, an unrelated person, to leave. As he leaves, Kang Hae-jun reminds her that he is not unrelated to Kim San-ha. Anxiously waiting in the living room, Kang Hae-jun finally sees Kim San-ha and Yoon Ju-won. Learning of his mother's visit, Kim San-ha decides to stay and handle the situation alone. His sister immediately hugs him. Kim San-ha decides to confront his mother in his room. Before opening the door, he takes several deep breaths, bracing himself to face his dearest yet most hurtful mother. His mother commands Kim San-ha to pack up and return home with her, using her own life as leverage to keep him by her side. Kim San-ha firmly states he does not want to relive the nightmare of losing family members. After enduring his mother's repeated breakdowns and accusations for a decade, he feels deeply hurt. His mother, angry, slaps him. His sister rushes in to stop the argument. Heartbroken, Kim San-ha makes it clear he will not return to Seoul. Leaving the room, Kim San-ha seeks comfort from Yoon Ju-won, but he cannot bring himself to ring her doorbell. Alone, he kneels and weeps bitterly. Kang Hae-jun learns Kim San-ha has been staying at the hospital and plans to bring him some personal items. Yoon Ju-won insists on going herself. Kang Hae-jun questions if she is hiding something. Nervous, Yoon Ju-won is relieved her secret remains safe, yet remarks on his slow reaction. Kang Hae-jun packs clothes for Kim San-ha and unexpectedly finds sleeping pills in his drawer, realizing Kim San-ha's past decade has been challenging. Yoon Ju-won brings items to the hospital for Kim San-ha. They have dinner together, and before parting, Yoon Ju-won asks if he will leave with his mother. Kim San-ha assures her he will never return to Seoul, and asks Yoon Ju-won to firmly stand by him. Yoon Ju-won admits her earlier nonchalance was just an act. She cannot bear to be apart from him. They share a tender embrace, feeling secure and warm together. His sister arrives at the hospital, saying their mother cried the previous day and wishes her brother would live with them until her high school graduation. Kim San-ha tells his sister that their mother suffers less in his absence. Over the years, she has seen him as the source of her pain, and their living together was merely mutual torment. Previously, he had to care for his dependent mother, but now that she is recovered, he refuses to endure any more arguments. The school beauty and the younger student visited Yoon Ju-won's shop to buy a cake. The younger student said Kim San-ha was in a bad mood. His complexion looked terrible. The school beauty mentioned she just saw Kim San-ha smiling at Yoon Ju-won. During high school, Kim San-ha was indifferent to everything, but his expression immediately brightened when he saw Yoon Ju-won. Back then, the school beauty thought they were dating. Yoon Ju-won fell into deep thought. It had always been Kim San-ha making sacrifices for her. She had neglected his feelings. Kim San-ha's mother came to the hospital looking for her son. She was upset about being seen as a bad mother by Kim San-ha. Kim San-ha and his mother were leaving the hospital when they saw Yoon Ju-won, who had come to visit him. Kim San-ha wanted to take his mother to a hotel. However, his mother said she wanted to stay here for a while. Kim San-ha objected, noting that if she stayed, his sister in Seoul would have no one to take care of her. His mother sarcastically remarked that Kim San-ha did not care about his mother and sister, having left them behind. Kim San-ha's mother again questioned him, asking if he would care if she died. Yoon Ju-won intervened to stop Kim San-ha's mother from causing a scene. She pulled Kim San-ha to her side, reminding him that his mother had abandoned him as a child and sent him to her. She remembered it clearly, as it was the happiest day of her life. She had overlooked Kim San-ha's feelings, unaware that he had cried for a long time after being abandoned by his mother. This guilt haunted her for life. She had let Kim San-ha leave for 10 years to give him peace of mind. Now she vowed never to let him leave again. Seeing the two holding hands, Kim San-ha's mother realized that his insistence on returning was because he had fallen for Yoon Ju-won. Yoon Ju-won, tired of the drama, took Kim San-ha home. Kang Hae-jun came to bring food for Yoon Ju-won and Park Dal, but found Park Dal drinking. He understood Park Dal was upset about a matchmaking issue. Park Dal mentioned her mother wanted her to bring a boyfriend home. Kang Hae-jun jokingly said he was not good enough for Park Dal. Park Dal quickly clarified that Kang Hae-jun was the most handsome man she had met in her 27 years. Kang Hae-jun left smiling. Kim San-ha returned home to find Kang Hae-jun waiting for him with a bottle of sleeping pills on the table. He accused Kang Hae-jun of prying into his things. Kang Hae-jun responded that pretending to be strong was not attractive. He had always buried his feelings. In fact, Kang Hae-jun missed his mother, sometimes hating her so much that he wished she didn't exist. Yet, he couldn't help but long for her. Both were children abandoned by their mothers. They understood each other's feelings. They hated their mothers. But beneath that hate was hidden love. Kim San-ha's most genuine feelings were exposed, and he began to cry. Kang Hae-jun cried too, comforting him that it was okay to go running or drink if he couldn't sleep. The next day, Yoon Ju-won called them home for dinner, only to find both asleep. She roughly shook Kang Hae-jun, who didn't wake up. She then tried to wake Kim San-ha, who pulled her into an embrace. The two shared a sweet kiss. The three went home for dinner. Kim San-ha confessed at the dinner table that he had been suffering and wanted to leave, but his mother had forced him to stay. Now free, he only wanted to stay in the warm home he had found. The two fathers were relieved and happy that Kim San-ha had learned to share his troubles with his family. A few high school classmates planned to dine together. Kim San-ha asks Yoon Ju-won to wait a bit, as he has to go somewhere first. Kim San-ha visits Kang Hae-jun's mother alone. He always thought he and Kang Hae-jun were both abandoned by their mothers. However, Kang Hae-jun's mother's demeanor that day made him realize Kang Hae-jun was never abandoned. He requests her to let Kang Hae-jun know this significant fact. After hearing him out, Kang Hae-jun's mother feels she needs more time to prepare herself emotionally before meeting her son. Meanwhile, Kang Hae-jun hosts his classmates. As he watches a couple showing affection in front of him, he suddenly remembers that morning when he saw Kim San-ha and Yoon Ju-won kissing. He thought he was mistaken and hated the negative thoughts in his mind. Kang Hae-jun rushes to the next room for some alcohol to clear his head. At that moment, Kim San-ha and Yoon Ju-won return. Before entering, Kim San-ha pulls Yoon Ju-won into his room to kiss her. Kang Hae-jun accidentally witnesses the kiss and refuses to accept what he saw, asking if they were joking. Kim San-ha holds Yoon Ju-won's hand and confirms they are dating. Unable to accept the deception, Kang Hae-jun angrily leaves. Kim San-ha follows to explain that his relationship with Yoon Ju-won doesn't mean abandoning Kang Hae-jun. However, Kang Hae-jun, abandoned by his parents as a child, feels betrayed. After Kim San-ha and Yoon Ju-won marry, Kang Hae-jun feels like an outsider since he has no blood relation with them. Kim San-ha suggests Kang Hae-jun take some time alone to cool off. The next day, Kang Hae-jun ignores Kim San-ha and goes out to exercise alone. Kim San-ha informs Yoon Ju-won, who plans to find Kang Hae-jun in the park, but has to attend to a fruit delivery at the cake shop first. Park Dal decides to look for Kang Hae-jun but gets knocked down by a bicycle. Kang Hae-jun takes injured Park Dal to the hospital, where Kim San-ha diagnoses a muscle strain requiring a 2-week brace. Believing Yoon Ju-won sent Park Dal, Kang Hae-jun can't help but blame her and Kim San-ha. Ignoring Kang Hae-jun's response, Kim San-ha pulls Yoon Ju-won away from the room. Yoon Ju-won believes they should be comforting Kang Hae-jun, not angering him. Kim San-ha reveals he called Kang Hae-jun less than a year after his leg surgery in America. Kang Hae-jun was upset about feeling like an outsider after his father and stepmother had a daughter. He didn't know where to go or why everyone seemed to abandon him. Kim San-ha is frustrated with Kang Hae-jun's perception of abandonment. After sending Park Dal home, she tells him how worried Kim San-ha and Yoon Ju-won were. Kang Hae-jun realizes his petulance but knows they care, although they can't fully understand his feelings. Park Dal comforts him, assuring her support regardless of his actions. Kang Hae-jun is touched and praises Park Dal for her understanding, unaware of her feelings for him. Yoon Ju-won made Kang Hae-jun's favorite soup to calm him down. After Kim San-ha returned, Kang Hae-jun changed his attitude and decided to go out for ice cream with Yoon Ju-won. The siblings strolled and ate popsicles together. Kang Hae-jun asked why Yoon Ju-won hadn't told Yoon Jong-jae about their relationship. Yoon Ju-won said she hadn't found the right moment yet. Kang Hae-jun admitted he disapproved of their relationship, citing the risks of divorce if they married and the potential awkwardness between families if they split. Yoon Ju-won believed they would never break up, and noticed Kang Hae-jun actually liked Kim San-ha, despite his tough exterior. Eventually, Kang Hae-jun came to terms with Yoon Ju-won dating Kim San-ha. Kim Dae-wook went to the hospital to have a meal with his son, but saw Kim San-ha talking to the school beauty, who was trying to get Kim San-ha's help to win back Kang Hae-jun. Unaware of the details, Kim Dae-wook mistakenly thought they were a couple and invited the school beauty to join them for a meal. After the meal, Kim Dae-wook shared the good news with Yoon Jong-jae, thinking Kim San-ha and the school beauty were well matched and might marry. Meanwhile, a colleague saw a boy courting Yoon Ju-won at a cake shop, suggesting she might be dating too. Both fathers felt happy about their children's new chapters in life. Yoon Ju-won and Kim San-ha went on a date, walking and talking. Yoon Ju-won kept talking about Kang Hae-jun, making Kim San-ha jealous. He asked who was more important to her, and Yoon Ju-won playfully cheered him up. They happily went home together, sharing a kiss at the door. Kang Hae-jun, who opened the door, startled them, and they quickly stood apart. Kang Hae-jun then demanded they both come inside and presented a list of rules for dating Yoon Ju-won. Kim San-ha was upset by the rules, especially the one that required calling Kang Hae-jun big brother-in-law, and tore up the contract. Yoon Ju-won quickly signaled Kim San-ha to apologize to placate Kang Hae-jun. The three joked together afterward. Kang Hae-jun's friend complained about not being able to find him lately. Yoon Ju-won didn't know what Kang Hae-jun was busy with. In fact, Kang Hae-jun had been watching his mother from across her beauty salon every day. One day, Kang Hae-jun's mom met with a lawyer who expressed gratitude for being able to help her improve her life in his first case. The lawyer suggested she meet her son, but she hesitated as she had accidentally caused a death and didn't want her son to know. Seeing his mother happy with the lawyer, Kang Hae-jun thought she had a boyfriend and confronted her, expressing mixed feelings about her happiness and pain. After he left, his mother resisted following him and told Yoon Jong-jae about the situation, asking her to look after Kang Hae-jun's emotional state. A saddened Kang Hae-jun texted Park Dal, who found him in the park. Kang Hae-jun felt awkward discussing his feelings with Yoon Ju-won and Kim San-ha. He asked Park Dal what he should do now. Park Dal, having heard from Yoon Ju-won that Kang Hae-jun's mother moved to Seoul years ago to pay off debts, and even went to prison, used a case she handled as an example to subtly suggest that his mother might have had her reasons. Kang Hae-jun visited his mother again. She told him that she had been interrogated in prison when he was in middle school. She had secretly returned to see him playing happily with his friends. Yoon Jong-jae genuinely cared for Kang Hae-jun and couldn't bring herself to take him away. Just then, Yoon Jong-jae arrived, and Kang Hae-jun learned she knew his mother had returned. He questioned why everyone had kept it from him, saying his greatest joy was eating burgers with his mother and noodles with his father. Yoon Jong-jae hugged Kang Hae-jun, and his mother held his hand. After calming down, Kang Hae-jun understood his mother's struggles and took her home for a meal. Yoon Ju-won and Kim San-ha rushed home and were delighted to see Kang Hae-jun and his mother reconciling. Kim Dae-wook arrived late and saw Yoon Jong-jae and Kang Hae-jun's mother alone in the living room. He quickly left, Having sensed Yoon Jong-jae's feelings for Kang Hae-jun's mother, Kang Hae-jun took his mother home, resting his head on her shoulder like when he was young. He had waited 20 years for this moment, which was finally realized today. The next day, Kang Hae-jun accompanied Park Dal to the hospital for a checkup. Park Dal's leg was still not healed. He let Park Dal lean on his arm. The school beauty saw them and asked Kang Hae-jun to have dinner, saying she had something to tell him. Before Kang Hae-jun could respond, Park Dal quickly said that Kang Hae-jun had already agreed to dine with her and that she occupied all his free time. Park Dal pulled Kang Hae-jun away, thinking she was helping him avoid the school beauty's pursuit. Park Dal finally mustered the courage to confess her feelings to Kang Hae-jun. Yoon Ju-won gossiped about Kang Hae-jun's feelings for Park Dal. Kang Hae-jun told her to consider her own situation. Kim Sun-ha and Yoon Ju-won decided to reveal the truth to their fathers today. When they got home, the fathers still thought Kim Sun-ha was dating the school beauty and that Yoon Ju-won had brought a suitor home. As long as Yoon Ju-won and Kim Sun-ha felt it was right, the fathers would not object. Kim Sun-ha asked the fathers not to oppose them, as he and Yoon Ju-won were dating. Kim Sun-ha and Yoon Ju-won announced they were dating in front of both their fathers. Kim Dae-wook clapped and cheered, overjoyed by the news. However, Yoon Jong-jae became serious instantly and disapproved of their relationship. Kim Dae-wook found Yoon Jong-jae drinking alone and tried to persuade him, arguing that the young couple understood and cared for each other and that dating was a good thing. Yoon Jong-jae remained opposed. He wanted his daughter to be able to return to him if she was unhappy after getting married. He feared that if Yoon Ju-won was too familiar with Kim Sun-ha, she would bear any grievances alone if they argued. Yoon Jong-jae did not want this. Later, Kim Sun-ha approached Yoon Jong-jae again, understanding that he needed time to accept his transition from son to son-in-law. Kim Sun-ha promised in front of Yoon Jong-jae that he loved Yoon Ju-won and would never leave her. Yoon Jong-jae believed his promise at that moment, but knew that emotions were unpredictable and no one could guarantee the future. He worried that if their relationship faced problems, they could never return to being like siblings. Yoon Jong-jae went back to his room to lie down, refusing to discuss the matter further. Kim Sun-ha brought a glass of water to the bedside, speaking his heart out regardless of whether Yoon Jong-jae was listening. Since falling in love with Yoon Ju-won, he had been eager to grow up and spend his life with her. Meanwhile, Kang Hae-jun pleaded with his mother to move in with Yoon Jong-jae so they could live together, not wanting to be apart from her anymore. His mother was proud seeing Kang Hae-jun's model photos sent by Yoon Jong-jae, but regretted that he gave up basketball, which he had loved since childhood. To make his mother happy, Kang Hae-jun asked a friend to contact a club so he could try playing basketball again. His friend cautioned him about his relationship with Park Da, whose mother was controlling and wanted her to marry a wealthy person. Park Da had suffered from forced matchmaking over the years. Feeling unworthy of Park Da, Kang Hae-jun rejected her feelings, deciding to treat her as a sister as before. Park Da was heartbroken, but firmly told Kang Hae-jun that she did not need a brother and should not be treated like Yoon Ju-won. The next day, Kim Sun-ha went to surprise Yoon Ju-won, but instead of delighting her, he startled her, causing her to push him down, which resulted in him hitting his forehead and waist. Hearing the news, both fathers quickly arrived to ensure Kim Sun-ha was all right. Yoon Jong-jae declined Kim Dae-wook's invitation to dine together and left alone. Kim Dae-wook wanted Yoon Jong-jae to agree to their children dating. A colleague suggested he approach Yoon Jong-jae like a future in-law and bring a gift. Kim Dae-wook agreed and specifically chose an expensive fruit basket for Yoon Jong-jae. However, his timing was off. He arrived just as Kang Seo-hyun was visiting Yoon Jong-jae, who was coming out with a mop, almost bumping into her. Kang Seo-hyun stumbled backward, and Yoon Jong-jae quickly caught her by the waist. Kim Dae-wook did not want to interrupt and left with the fruit basket. A neighbor told Kang Seo-hyun that Yoon Jong-jae had worked hard for many years to support Kang Hae-jun, delaying his own romantic relationships. They suggested Kang Seo-hyun should take responsibility for Yoon Jong-jae, which embarrassed both, but made them feel a slight stir of feelings. Meanwhile, at work, Kim Sun-ha saw a young boy with his mother, reminding him of his own mother. As he grew older, he realized he had been wrong in how he interacted with her over the years. He called his mother, planning to return to Seoul next week to speak with her. Unbeknownst to him, his mother had already visited Yoon Ju-won, asking her to leave her son and return him to her. She reminded Yoon Ju-won that her feelings for Kim San-ha were not love, as the boundaries between familial love and romantic love had blurred over the years. She advised Yoon Ju-won to think it over. Yoon Ju-won felt gloomy and stayed at a cake shop overnight, catching a cold and developing a fever. Kim San-ha took care of her, continuously asking if she was hiding something. Yoon Ju-won tried to appear natural and lied that nothing was wrong. After recovering, Yoon Ju-won returned home full of doubts. She asked her father about his feelings for her mother. Yoon Jong-jae recalled that his wife was the most important person to him, feeling that he could not live without her and that he could achieve anything with her by his side. Yoon Ju-won instantly understood that she felt the same about Kim San-ha. Realizing she truly loved him, Kim San-ha returned to Seoul to find his mother and spoke his heart out for the first time. He and his mother had both felt unworthy of happiness due to his sister's death. He endured his mother's scolding to make her happy, but now that he was grown, he wanted her to know he also needed her love and that they both deserved to be happy. After hearing him, his mother locked herself in her room to cry. Kim San-ha knelt outside, begging her to see and embrace the real him, who had lacked maternal love for years. After speaking his heart, Kim San-ha returned from Seoul. Yoon Ju-won, eager to see her boyfriend, ran to the station to meet him. They embraced and kissed sweetly at the station. Kim San-ha then went alone to find Yoon Jong-jae, asking for his approval to be with Yoon Ju-won. When he had left for Seoul years ago, he had vowed to return only when he could make Yoon Ju-won happy. He endured 10 years of longing without appearing before her. Now capable of providing a happy life for Yoon Ju-won, Yoon Jong-jae, having thought it over, agreed not to stand in the way of his daughter's happiness, and finally consented to their relationship. Kim San-ha clenched his fists in excitement, grateful that the moment he had waited for had finally arrived. Kang Hae-jun and Yoon Ju-won learned from their neighbor's grandmother that their parents had feelings for each other. They decided to help their parents get together. Yoon Ju-won regretted strongly opposing her father dating Kang Seo-hyun in the past. She was young then and thought her father would be taken away, never considering his feelings. As an adult, she felt sorry and owed both her father and Kang Seo-hyun an apology. Kang Hae-jun comforted her, saying it was normal for a young Yoon Ju-won to oppose her father remarrying. Yoon Ju-won felt relieved. To spur her father to confess his feelings, she came up with a plan. She introduced Kang Seo-hyun to another man to make her father jealous. Kang Hae-jun thought making Yoon Jong-jae jealous was a good idea, but unexpectedly, he became jealous himself. Park Da and her date met in Yoon Ju-won's cake shop. Watching them happily chatting, Kang Hae-jun felt unhappy. Kim San-ha, learning the date liked basketball, challenged him to a game, secretly instructing Kang Hae-jun that defeating the rival could win back Park Da. Kang Hae-jun played hard and won by a large margin. The defeated suitor offered to buy everyone dinner. Kang Hae-jun declined but had one request: to take Park Da with him. Park Da, fearing rejection, confessed her feelings before Kang Hae-jun could speak. She had followed her mother's plans all her life, except for her feelings for Kang Hae-jun, which were her own choice. Kang Hae-jun felt pain, but also warmth. He felt the girl in front of him deserved the best love and admitted his own restless nights thinking of Park Da. He asked for a chance to date her. Park Da agreed, and they shyly smiled. Kang Hae-jun affectionately touched her head, feeling very happy. The now official couple called each other nightly. Kang Hae-jun felt like a reckless teenager again, eager to meet Park Da and spontaneously asking her for late-night walks. Compared to them, Kim San-ha and Yoon Ju-won, who were always in love, were very sweet. But Kang Hae-jun often interfered, banning Yoon Ju-won from staying in Kim San-ha's room late at night and sending her home. Kim San-ha, annoyed but hesitant to speak up, hoped Kang Hae-jun and Park Da's relationship would progress quickly so he would stop meddling. Yoon Ju-won, trying to bring her father and Kang Seo-hyun together, approached Kang Seo-hyun alone. She apologized for her past behavior and expressed her hope that her father and Kang Seo-hyun would not miss their chance to start a new family together. Kang Seo-hyun had never met a better man than Yoon Jong-jae. With the children's support, she finally expressed her feelings, indicating her willingness to be with him. Yoon Jung-jae took her hand and confessed that he had felt a connection from the first moment they met and had never forgotten her over the years. Being with Kang Seo-hyun, he had no regrets in life. A month later, Yoon Jung-jae and Kang Seo-hyun were preparing for their wedding. The three children were busy decorating their new home. Yoon Jung-jae brought tea for the three of them. Kang Hae-jun wondered why Kim Dae-wook was not there. At that moment, Kim Dae-wook was singing on stage. With a partner now, Yoon Jung-jae began to enjoy his senior life, making friends in a choir. After his performance, several ladies were charmed by his singing, chatted with him, and invited him for coffee. Overwhelmed by their enthusiasm, Kim Dae-wook made excuses to escape home. The three children laughed, hearing about his experience. Kim San-ha could hardly imagine his father singing in front of people, but was glad he had his own life. Meanwhile, Kim San-ha's mother was accompanying her daughter to study in the UK. Knowing Kim San-ha was worried, Yoon Ju-won persuaded him to go with her to help settle in before returning. Kim San-ha promised to return before Yoon Jung-jae and Kang Seo-hyun's wedding. The young couple started a brief long-distance relationship. Yoon Ju-won, watching Kang Hae-jun and Park Da being affectionate in front of her, complained to Kim San-ha about seeing them together every day and asked him to hurry back. The night before the wedding, Kang Hae-jun asked Yoon Ju-won to retrieve a blue bag from his room, containing rings for his parents. Yoon Ju-won found it, but was surprised by Kim San-ha's sudden appearance. Unable to hold back their feelings, they kissed eagerly, with no interruption from Kang Hae-jun this time. Kim San-ha led Yoon Ju-won into the bedroom. The next morning, when Yoon Ju-won hadn't returned and wasn't answering her phone, Kang Hae-jun went to find her. Seeing Kim San-ha rush out of the bedroom, he immediately understood what had happened and confronted Kim San-ha loudly. Kim San-ha begged Kang Hae-jun to forgive him. The wedding of Kang Seo-hyun and Yoon Jung-jae went smoothly, and Kim Dae-wook sang to bless them. The family took a complete family photo, continuing their happiness together.